Let me share a secret with you. Something you probably already know but refuse to admit. Listen closely. Time doesn't stop. There's no way to get it back. Life goes on, and you can't rewind it. Surprised? No. So why are you wasting your life? Why are you giving away your precious time day after day? Do you really think you'll get another chance? No, my friend, life doesn't work that way. Every minute you let slip away is like a whisper lost in the wind. Gone forever, irreplaceable. But that stops today. In this video, I'll give you the Stoic tools you need to stop wasting your life and finally focus on what truly matters. You. It's time to channel your energy, your time, and your actions into what helps you grow, into what brings you closer to the life you deserve. Because guess what? No one is going to live this life for you. Today, you'll learn how to wake up every morning without regrets, without feeling like the day is slipping through your fingers. Ah, wouldn't that be amazing? To feel like everything you do has purpose, making you stronger, happier, more you. Think I'm exaggerating? Let me prove you wrong. But first, let me share a story that will show you the power of focusing on yourself and stopping the endless waste of time. It's about Jose, a clever and hardworking young man with a dream. Jose always wanted to open his own business, a cozy cafe that served not just great coffee but also gave people a place to feel at home. Jose had a talent for baking, unique ideas, and a natural ability to connect with others. He had everything he needed to make his dream come true. Except for one thing. He didn't know how to organize himself. Every day was the same. He'd wake up just in time, eat breakfast while scrolling through his phone, and rush off to work, a job that never fulfilled him. At the office, he'd daydream about his project, imagining how he'd decorate the place, greet his customers every morning, even catching the scent of freshly brewed coffee. But after work, exhaustion always got the better of him. He'd collapse onto the couch, telling himself, "Ugh, I'm too tired today. I'll work on my business plan tomorrow." And then he'd let the hours slip away, watching shows or mindlessly scrolling the internet, thinking maybe tomorrow would be better. But tomorrow came, and guess what? The day was even harder. He got home later, even more drained, and didn't work on his dream. This time he told himself, "I'm completely wiped out. I'll go to bed early so I'll be refreshed and ready to work on it tomorrow." And so, the days passed, Jose stuck on a roller coaster of hope and frustration. Then, one ordinary afternoon, on his way home, Jose ran into an old school friend he hadn't seen in years. To his surprise, his friend, who'd never been a great student or particularly outstanding, was living the life Jose had always wanted. He had his own business, a warm and welcoming spot filled with happy customers and good energy. Jose couldn't help but feel a mix of envy and frustration. After chatting for a while, Jose finally asked, "How did you do it? I've always dreamed of something like this, but I never find the time to start or the money, and I'm always so tired." His friend smiled calmly and said, "It wasn't luck or magic. It was all about time and how I used it. I realized no one was going to hand me the perfect moment to start or the money I needed. I had to create it myself. So I prioritized what was important to me. Every day, I set aside at least 2 hours for my dream. No matter how tired I was or how many distractions I had, 2 hours every single day, no excuses." Little by little, those hours turned into the business you see today. As his friend spoke, the spark in his eyes was undeniable. That casual conversation was like a revelation for Jose. That same night, he stopped making excuses. He grabbed a notebook and wrote down his first plan. Not a plan to open the cafe right away, but a plan to reclaim his time and start building his future. At first, it was tough. Old habits pulled at him like chains. But with every hour he dedicated to learning about business, practicing recipes, or mapping out his ideas, he felt a shift. His dream, which once seemed so far away, started taking shape. And the best part? While focusing on what truly lit him up inside, he felt radiant. His days began to have real meaning. He valued himself more than ever before. For the first time in his life, Jose was putting the most important thing first: himself. And how many times have you told yourself, "I'll do it tomorrow"? How many times have excuses or distractions kept you from what you truly want? Today I'm going to show you how to start prioritizing yourself, just like Jose did. Because no one is going to hand you the life you want unless you fight for it. Are you ready? Let's get started. 1. Don't be perfect, just move forward. Have you ever felt too scared to start something because everything wasn't just right? That idea that you need the perfect moment or to be an expert before taking the first step? My friend, let me tell you something. Perfection doesn't exist. It's a mirage. Always one step ahead, an elegant excuse to avoid starting. Picture this. You're at a harbor, and your ship is ready to set sail. But instead of departing, you stay there, checking every rope, every sail, waiting for a day with no clouds or wind. Meanwhile, other ships are sailing by, flawed, imperfect, but moving toward destinations you can only dream of. And why? Because you refuse to go until everything is perfect. That's the trap of perfectionism. It keeps you stuck at the dock, frustrated while life moves on. And this isn't just an inspiring metaphor. According to a Harvard University study, perfectionism is closely tied to procrastination. Researchers found that people chasing unattainable standards aren't the ones reaching their goals. They're the ones avoiding tasks out of fear of failure or judgment. It's a vicious cycle. The more you strive for perfection, the less you do, and the less you do, the more incapable you feel of moving forward. Progress, not perfection, is what takes us far. The Stoics understood this well. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you wait for the ideal, you'll never act. Do what you can with what you have right now." Every small step matters. Every action, no matter how insignificant it seems, adds up. And really, what's the point of waiting to know everything before you begin? If you never start, you'll never know anything. Think about it. How many things have you left undone because you didn't feel good enough? Maybe you wanted to learn a new language but thought you'd never sound like a native speaker. Or you dreamed of improving your health but froze because you didn't have the perfect workout plan. You get the idea, don't you? There's immense power in simply moving forward, even if you don't have it all figured out. What's the worst that can happen? That you make a mistake? Listen to me, I hope you do. That's how you'll learn. Every day you practice, every small effort is building something bigger. The secret is consistency, not perfection. So ask yourself, what could you achieve if you stopped waiting for the perfect moment? If you stopped making excuses and simply started? Because you don't need to have all the answers right now. You just need to take the first step, then the next and the one after that. Remember, my friend, stumbling isn't failure. It's part of the journey. And on this journey, it's not about being fast or perfect. It's about moving forward with purpose. So let go of the weight of trying to do everything flawlessly and start today. Because every step, no matter how small, brings you closer to the life you deserve. 2. Don't get distracted from your goal. Have you ever tried walking in a straight line while looking to the sides? If you haven't, give it a shot and tell me what happens. It's impossible, right? Every time you turn your head, your body shifts off course. The same thing happens with your goals and your time. Every time you let yourself get distracted from your objective, you move further away from what you truly want. It may sound dramatic, but trust me, it's the truth. And honestly, it's not entirely your fault. We live in a world built to distract us. Social media, endless notifications, and meaningless tasks pull our attention like a black hole. Did you know that major corporations have entire teams of engineers and psychologists designing algorithms to keep you hooked? Creepy, right? But true. And the worst part? These distractions don't just steal your time, they drain your mental energy. How can you focus on what really matters when everything around you is trying to pull you into its trap? Let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're carrying a bucket of water, representing your energy. Your goal is to take that bucket to the end of a path and use it to water a tree you've been nurturing, your dream, your purpose. But as you walk, you stop at every corner, spilling a bit of water here and there. A few minutes on social media, saying yes to something that doesn't matter, doing tasks you should have said no to. By the time you reach the tree, the bucket is empty, and your dream remains dry, unable to grow. See the problem? Every distraction is a leak in your energy that could be invested in yourself, in what helps you grow, in what truly matters. 2,000 years ago, there were no social media platforms, yet Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you seek tranquility, do less, but do what's essential." That's the key. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters. It's about learning to say no to anything that pulls you off your path. Prioritizing yourself means protecting your attention as if it's your most valuable resource, because it is. You can't let the noise of the world steal your focus. This doesn't mean isolating yourself, but it does mean being mindful of how you use your time and energy. Think about it. How many days have ended with you feeling like you accomplished nothing meaningful? That's the price of distractions. But when you start cutting them out, everything changes. Suddenly, you gain clarity. Your energy flows toward your goal, and every day, you take another step forward, toward your dreams, not where the algorithms want to lead you. So, my friend, the next time something tries to pull you away from what really matters, remember the bucket and the tree. Protect your energy, focus your attention, and stay the course. Because at the end of the day, no one else is going to water that tree for you. It's yours, and only you can make it flourish. Before we continue, if this content is bringing value to your life, consider subscribing and becoming an exclusive member to access unique benefits. And share in the comments. What's that goal or dream that keeps slipping through your fingers? What change will you make to achieve it? We'd love to hear from you and grow together. 3. Life is now. Yes, it sounds obvious, but listen, my friend. Life is now. It wasn't yesterday, and it won't be tomorrow. Yet we live as if time is endless, as if there will always be another day to enjoy, to love, to chase our dreams. Be honest with me. How many times have you put off something important for when you have time? Maybe telling your mom how much she means to you, starting that personal project, or simply taking a moment to breathe and savor life. Does this sound familiar? When I retire, I'll finally enjoy life. Yeah? So let me ask you, what if you don't make it to retirement? What if life has other plans, and this is the only moment you have to truly live? Let's not even be so dramatic. Imagine you do reach that long-awaited retirement. Ah, finally, free time. Now you can enjoy life, right? But the years haven't been kind. Maybe your knees won't let you travel the way you dreamed. Think about it. You've spent your entire life waiting for the perfect moment, not realizing that life has always been happening right here, right now. There is no better time to live than today. Every day you spend dwelling on the past or dreaming about the future, you're letting go of the only moment that's truly yours. This one. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not act as if you have 1,000 years to live. Time is slipping away. Act now." Picture an hourglass in front of you. Each grain of sand represents a moment of your life that will never return. Now ask yourself, are you spending those grains on something meaningful, or are you letting them fall without even noticing? We live caught between two illusions, regret for yesterday and hope for tomorrow. But the truth is, neither the past nor the future is under our control. All we have is the present. How many times have you sat at the table with your family but spent the moment checking your phone or worrying about your to-do list? You don't need massive changes to start living in the now. Sometimes, it's as simple as looking into the eyes of the people you love and giving them your full attention. Life is not a rehearsal. There are no second chances. What matters is what you do with this moment. Because in the end, nobody remembers perfect days. What they remember are the real moments, those times when you were truly present. So stop postponing. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Live today. Look around you and appreciate what you have, even if it isn't perfect. Because believe me, life isn't about what's coming. It's about what's happening right now. 4. Don't give away your time. Think about this. The value you give to your time is the value you give to yourself. Every minute you give away carelessly, every commitment you accept out of fear of saying no, is like signing a blank check with your energy and letting others decide how much to take. Does that sound fair to you? Tell me, what price do you put on your life? Imagine you own a priceless jewel, one of a kind in the entire world. Would you leave it lying on a random counter for anyone to use as they please? Of course not. You'd protect it, guard it carefully, and make sure only those who truly value it could even see it. Well, my friend, you are that jewel. Your time is your most valuable resource, yet you give it away to anyone who asks for a little attention. The problem is, we often don't realize how much this bad habit costs us. We get so caught up in trying to meet everyone's expectations that we forget our time isn't endless. We lose it in pointless meetings, empty conversations, or distractions that add nothing to our lives. But let me be clear. Every hour you waste on something that doesn't help you grow is one less hour you could invest in yourself, your dreams, and what truly matters. Let me put it in the words of Epictetus. If someone tried to steal your possessions, you'd do everything to stop them. So why do you let people steal your time without resistance? Picture a glass of crystal clear water. Every drop represents your time and energy. Now imagine that instead of drinking from that glass to quench your thirst, you're pouring it into cracked plastic cups all around you, trying to fill something that will never be full. What's left for you in the end? Exactly, nothing, just exhaustion and frustration. Protecting your time isn't easy, I know. The world is designed to rob you of every last second of your attention. But if you focus, it's possible. Start by identifying which activities truly add value to your life and which don't. Make a list, write down your priorities, and compare them to how you actually spend your day. Learn to say no, firmly but respectfully. You don't need to apologize for putting yourself first. Block those constant notifications, limit your social media usage, and carve out time for yourself, whether it's to read, meditate, or work on a personal project. At first, it'll feel uncomfortable, I get it. People may not understand, and you'll feel tempted to fall back into old habits. But trust me, every step you take toward better time management will be worth it. Focusing on yourself doesn't mean ignoring others. It means setting clear boundaries so your time and energy are invested in what truly matters. Here's the big question. How many things are you saying yes to that actually deserve a no? How many times have you agreed to something you knew wasn't good for you, just to avoid rejection or judgment? Remember, my friend, every decision you make about your time is a declaration to the world of how much you value yourself. Don't waste it. Use it with intention. Because in the end, time doesn't come back, and only you can decide what to make of it. So tell me, what will you do with yours? 5. Compare yourself only to yourself. Let me be honest with you. Comparing yourself to others is a battle you'll never win. It's a waste of time. There will always be someone faster, richer, stronger, or more successful. Comparing yourself to others is like trying to catch the horizon. No matter how fast you run, it will always be out of reach. And do you know why? Because it's not your race, it's not your path, and it's not your life. This isn't a new idea. The Stoics understood it long ago. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Never be envious. Another person's path is not your path." He was absolutely right. Your real rival isn't out there, it's inside you. The only comparison that makes sense is with the person you were yesterday. Your achievements, your mistakes, and the effort you're willing to put in today to become just a little bit better. Now, I'm not Epictetus or Seneca, but I can share my own experience with this. A few years ago, I constantly compared myself to others. I was that person, always looking outward, dreaming about someone else's car or fitness level. I remember spending hours on social media, scrolling through people's trips, their purchases, their seemingly perfect lives. I'd tell myself, look at everything they've achieved. Why am I not there yet? That obsession drained my energy and made me feel inadequate. It was like being in a bike race, but spending all my time looking at the riders around me instead of focusing on my own pedals. One day I stopped. I literally stopped what I was doing and asked myself, what am I gaining from this? The answer was simple: nothing. At that moment, I decided to change. I stopped allowing myself to scroll endlessly. I promised myself I'd look inward instead of outward. I set small daily goals, and most importantly, I started measuring my progress based on where I was before, not on where others were. And do you know what happened? Something magical. My energy came back, my focus sharpened, and little by little I climbed out of that pit of envy and helplessness. I discovered that true success isn't about beating others. It's about surpassing your own limits. But this isn't just motivational talk. It's backed by science. Research from the University of Toronto shows that people who focus on their personal goals instead of comparing themselves to others experience higher levels of happiness and self-esteem. It's simple. The less you compare yourself to the world, the freer you'll be to move forward on your own path. Imagine your life as a garden. If you spend all your time looking at your neighbor's garden, wondering why their flowers are bigger or more colorful, you'll neglect your own. But if you focus on watering your plants, pulling out the weeds and nurturing the soil, your garden will eventually bloom, unique and beautiful in its own way. So let me ask you, how much time have you wasted looking at someone else's life instead of working on your own? How many times have you felt less worthy simply because you measured your success with someone else's ruler? Today, I invite you to make a change. Stop looking outward and start looking inward. Take small steps. Recognize your achievements, no matter how small. Make a list of your strengths and what you've learned along the way. Because at the end of the day, the only comparison that matters is whether you're a little better today than you were yesterday. Remember, my friend, you're not in anyone else's race. Your only competition is with yourself. So focus on your garden, pedal your bike, and measure your progress with the only standard that matters: your own. 6. The answer is always within. Let me tell you a story, one that I think will help you understand that the answer, my friend, is always within you. Once upon a time, there was a young man named Adrian who lived in a small village surrounded by mountains. One day, he overheard a wise old man say there was a chest of gold hidden at the top of the mountains, but only those brave and persistent enough could find it. From that moment, Adrian dreamed of discovering the treasure. Every night, he went to bed thinking, if I find it, I'll finally have everything I want: happiness, wealth, and purpose. Finally, he made up his mind. He packed everything he thought he might need and began his climb. Along the way, he met other travelers who gave him conflicting advice. Turn left here. Take this shortcut. Don't go that way. It's too dangerous. Confused, Adrian tried to follow all their directions, but the only thing he achieved was getting more and more lost. Exhausted and frustrated, he decided to stop. He sat on a rock, and for the first time on his journey, he stopped looking outward. He stopped following what others were saying and started listening inward. He asked himself, what do I really want? Why am I searching for this treasure? What is my intuition telling me about the path I should take? In that moment, something shifted. Adrian stopped listening to external voices and trusted his own judgment. He followed his intuition, and with every step, he felt closer to the top. He let himself be guided by the beauty of nature, by the song of the birds, and with each moment he felt happier, more alive, and more connected to his goal. Finally, he reached the summit and saw the chest half buried under a tree. "I can't believe it," he exclaimed, tears in his eyes. He ran to it, opened it, and nothing. The chest was empty. At first, he was furious. Someone must have beaten me to it. How unfair. But after sitting in solitude for a while, he realized the truth. The real treasure wasn't in the chest. It was in the journey he had taken. It was in the confidence he had built in himself, and the answers he had found by listening to his inner voice. Suddenly, Adrian felt free, happy, and fulfilled. Do you see? In the end, he had found his treasure. This story is more than a tale. It's a mirror. How many times have you searched outside for what you could only find within yourself? How often have you followed the opinions, advice, or expectations of others, only to end up feeling lost? Marcus Aurelius summed it up perfectly. Look within. Inside you is the source of strength that will never run dry if you learn to dig in the right place. Life is like that mountain, and the treasure you're seeking isn't at the end of the path. It's in how you face your fears. Learn to trust yourself and discover who you are along the way. So, the next time you feel like you need an answer, don't rush to ask your neighbor or search online. Just stop. Take a moment to listen, because the answer is already within you. No one knows your dreams and desires better than you do. 7. What does success mean to you? Take a moment to reflect. Is the success you're chasing truly yours, or is it what others have convinced you to pursue? It's easy to fall into the trap of chasing the world's definition of success: money, fame, recognition. That's why I'm asking, have you ever stopped to question if you're pursuing something that genuinely fulfills you? Imagine success as a suit. There are beautiful, elegant, and flashy suits that others wear proudly, but they're not tailored to fit you. You can try to put one on, but it will always feel too big or too tight. The discomfort will be constant, and no matter how good it looks on the outside, you won't feel right in it. Why? Because it's not your suit. It's not your success. Do you remember the old story of the tortoise and the hare? The hare, confident in its speed, mocked the tortoise for being slow. One day, they decided to race. From the start, the hare sped ahead, but feeling superior, decided to stop and rest. Meanwhile, the tortoise, undeterred by the hare's speed and unfazed by its taunts, kept moving forward, step by step, slowly but steadily. With persistence, the tortoise stayed focused on its abilities, never trying to compete with the hare or rush the process. In the end, the hare lost the race because it underestimated the tortoise's consistency. It judged the tortoise based on its perceived limitations and overestimated its own abilities. There are many lessons to take from this fable, but here's the one that matters today. It doesn't matter how fast others seem to be moving or how successful they appear. What matters is that you follow your own pace, focused on your own path. If we compare, the hare seemed like the better runner, right? But its abilities were useless because it lost sight of what truly mattered: the goal. The tortoise, on the other hand, defined success on its own terms, with perseverance and focus, and reached the finish line. The Stoics invite us to reflect on this. Seneca wrote, "No wind is favorable for the sailor who doesn't know which port he's heading to." If you're not clear on what success means to you, you'll drift aimlessly, chasing goals that don't fulfill you. And when you finally reach them, you'll find they only leave you wanting more. Modern psychology backs this up. Research shows that people who pursue goals aligned with their personal values and passions are happier and more satisfied with their lives. On the other hand, those chasing external objectives like social approval or status often end up feeling empty, even when they achieve what they thought they wanted. True success isn't measured in universal terms. It's measured by how well you live according to your values, and how you build a life that resonates with you. So today, I invite you to pause. Ask yourself, what truly fulfills me? What makes me feel alive? Here's a hint. Don't look for the answer in applause, trophies, or numbers. As I mentioned earlier, the answer is already within you, waiting for you to have the courage to embrace it and follow it. So tell me in the comments, what does success mean to you? Is it something that makes you excited to get up in the morning? Or is it a checklist of goals imposed by others? I'd love for you to share your idea of success with us. We're listening. 8. Be like an ant. Ah, ants. Those tiny creatures that seem insignificant but hide incredible qualities. Have you ever stopped to observe them? Have you noticed how, despite their size, they seem capable of moving mountains? Ants don't waste time, they don't complain, they don't stop, and most importantly, they never lose sight of their goal. Now imagine what you could achieve if you adopted that same mindset. Think about it. Ants don't have a perfect plan or a detailed map. They don't need to know every step of the way before they start. They just work, step by step, day by day, trusting that their constant effort will take them where they need to go. Here's the key. They don't try to do everything at once. If they need to carry a huge piece of food back to their nest, they don't haul it in one go. They break it down, carry it bit by bit, and in the end, they achieve what seemed impossible. Sounds logical, doesn't it? But let's be honest. How often do we actually act this way in our daily lives? Hardly ever. Do you know what else makes ants unique? They don't wake up in the morning wasting time wondering what to do, debating whether they feel like gathering food or waiting for perfect weather to start working. They just do it. They have a clear purpose, and they don't shy away from it. They don't pause to ask themselves, is what I'm doing enough? They understand that the sum of small daily efforts leads to big results. Let me ask you, how many times have you avoided starting something because it felt too big or complicated? How many dreams have you set aside because you felt like you couldn't tackle it all at once? Being like an ant means remembering that you don't have to do everything today, but you do have to take the first step. You might think I'm crazy, but ants have a lot in common with Stoics. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you respond to it that matters. Ants understand this well. If they encounter an obstacle, they simply go around it. If they fall, they get back up. They don't waste time lamenting because they know that every small effort counts. Picture an ant colony at the start of the day. Ants march one by one, carrying leaves, seeds, or tiny bits of food that seem insignificant. They don't stop to wonder if their small actions will make a difference or whether they should wait for a better day. They just keep moving forward, over and over, bringing their load back home. By the end of the day, those seemingly small efforts add up to something extraordinary. Food for the entire colony, life-sustaining sustenance. That's the power of ants. They don't worry about the size of each task. They focus only on the next step. What seems small or insignificant in the moment becomes something immense over time, thanks to their persistence and determination. So today, I invite you to think, what could you achieve if you were as consistent as an ant? If you broke your goals into small, manageable actions and simply started? No excuses, no distractions. It doesn't matter how big the challenge is. The only thing that matters is the next step. Be like an ant, persistent, patient, and focused. Because, my friend, mountains aren't moved in one giant push, but grain by grain they can be conquered. 9. Don't fear solitude. Ah yes, solitude. A tricky topic, isn't it? How much time have you spent seeking others to fill the voids that only you can fill? In a world full of distractions and shallow connections, solitude feels like an enemy, when in reality, it's a powerful teacher. Here's the truth. The time you spend with yourself is never wasted. It's an investment with returns greater than any stock market could offer. Think of solitude as a lighthouse in the middle of the ocean. When the waters are calm, you don't need its light. But when the waves rise and the wind howls, the lighthouse is the only thing guiding you safely to shore. Solitude, when embraced, brings clarity. It shows you what truly matters and reminds you that your greatest strength has always been within you. Marcus Aurelius understood this perfectly. He wrote, "In your own soul lies the safest refuge." This refuge doesn't depend on others' opinions, applause, or company. It's a place you can only access when you dare to be alone. Here's a tough but necessary question. Do you fear solitude? It's hard to admit, and maybe you're unsure of the answer. To find out, ask yourself, do you often seek the noise of others when you're alone? Maybe you fill your time with gatherings, shallow conversations, or anything that keeps you from facing your own thoughts. It's okay to admit it. It's an act of courage. Only when we recognize our fears can we begin to confront them. At first, solitude can feel uncomfortable. That silence whispers in your ear, "You're alone." Does that mean no one wants to be with you? But over time, those whispers transform into something deeper, something real. You start to hear yourself, to know yourself better. Solitude doesn't isolate you. It connects you to who you truly are. It helps you face your fears, recognize your strengths, and understand what you really want out of life. Let me ask you, how many times have you avoided being alone because you were afraid of what you might discover? A lot? What if you changed your perspective? What if I told you that what you find isn't something to fear, but a gateway to your best self? In a world that teaches us to fear solitude, being able to embrace it is an act of bravery. It's your chance to reclaim your time, your purpose, and most importantly, your connection with yourself. So don't fear being with yourself, because solitude isn't emptiness. It's the space you need to grow, to listen, and to build the life you deserve. Are you ready to stop searching outward and discover everything that's already inside you? Listen, the time you spend with yourself isn't wasted. It's the first step to stop wasting your life and to focus on what truly matters, you. 10. Don't fear falling, learn to rise. How many opportunities have you let pass because you were afraid to fail? How many times have you said no to something that deep down excited you, but of course, you didn't feel ready to take the leap? Let me be clear with you. Those are all excuses. They sound plausible because your brain knows you so well. Yes, you heard that right. And no, this isn't a scolding, it's a way to help you see things as they are. We've all been there. The fear of stumbling sometimes pushes harder than the excitement of something new. We freeze, we doubt, and we stop moving forward. But here's the problem. If you don't dare to fall, you won't get hurt. But you also won't live the life you could have lived. Do you know what people regret most on their deathbeds? Exactly. They regret not seizing those moments, those opportunities that life gives you, perhaps only once. They regret wasting their time by not daring to fail. Imagine you're building a bridge toward your best self, toward the life where you're truly focused on yourself, without wasting a single moment. Every mistake, every stumble, is like a plank that wobbles beneath your feet. Is it uncomfortable? Yes. Is it scary? Also, yes. Terrifying even. But if you stop moving forward because one plank isn't stable, you'll never finish crossing the bridge. The key isn't avoiding those shaky planks. It's learning to step on them with confidence and keep going. As Marcus Aurelius said, what stands in the way becomes the way. Falls aren't obstacles to your progress. They are the tools that allow you to build it. Think about this. What would you do if you knew that every stumble brought you closer to the life you desire? If you understood that falling isn't a setback, but part of the growth process? Being Stoic means accepting the reality of falling and using it as an opportunity to become stronger. Yes, I know this all sounds beautiful, but when you're in the heat of the moment, the stumbles can be terrifying. So here's something that might help you next time life challenges you. Every time you make a mistake or feel stuck, unsure of whether to move forward or stay where you are, pause and reflect. Ask yourself, what did I learn from this? How can I apply it to improve? Every stumble carries a lesson that prepares you for the next step. Focus on what you can control. Yes, it's a Stoic classic, but it works. Don't waste your energy on what's already happened. Focus on what you can do today to move forward, and don't forget to start again. Every time you rise, you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. Listen closely. No one will remember your falls, but everyone will see how far you went in the end. Don't waste your life fearing falls, because each stumble holds an opportunity to grow, to move forward, and to rise stronger. So take that first step, and if you fall, get up with even more strength. What truly matters isn't how many times you fall, but how many times you choose to keep going. Let those falls become the stepping stones that build the path toward your best self. With each step you take after rising, you'll gain strength, clarity, and confidence in yourself. So, tell me, what's holding you back today from trying one more time? Share it with me in the comments and stay just a bit longer. What's coming next will show you the final step to a life well lived, filled with meaning and value. 11. Stop comparing yourself. Comparisons. Another hot topic, don't you think? If there were a counter for how many times we've looked at others to measure what we lack, it would probably show an absurdly high number. This constant comparison is like carrying a backpack full of stones that don't belong to you, yet you still choose to carry them. The problem isn't in admiring others, it's in thinking you can fill your own gaps by trying to be like them. And I don't blame you. It's almost inevitable when we're surrounded by displays of the perfect life, the perfect car, the perfect house. You know what I mean. Social media feels like a malicious platform designed to make you feel less than. But here's the truth. It's up to you where you choose to focus. Picture this. Imagine you're rowing down a river. You've got your own raft and your own paddles, but instead of rowing, you spend your time looking at the boat next to you. That boat is bigger. It doesn't even have paddles. It's got giant motors. It almost steers itself. And what do you tell yourself? You don't say, "Wow, look at me. I'm proving my worth as a rower despite having less." Be honest, that's not what you'd think, is it? It's probably more like, "Why don't I have that big boat? I always have to work twice as hard to get half as much." See the problem? This isn't just a metaphor, it's the endless scroll on social media. The conversations with your partner about the neighbor's new car. Enough already. While you're stuck in those thoughts, your raft is drifting, stagnant. What good is having your own paddle if you don't use it? Marcus Aurelius wrote centuries ago, "Stop arguing about what a good man should be one." It's not about what others are doing. It's about what you choose to do with your life, your time, and your energy. Do you feel like your achievements aren't enough because you compared them to someone else's? Maybe a friend bought a bigger house, a coworker got a promotion, or someone on social media seems to be living a flawless life. But let me tell you something. What you see from others is just a small part, a facade. You can't measure your life with a ruler that doesn't belong to you. Think of it this way. Comparing yourself to others is like trying to use someone else's compass to find your way. It doesn't work. Only you know where you want to go and what you need to get there. The right compass isn't out there, it's within you. But how do you stop comparing yourself in a world filled with marketing, filters, and aesthetics? Start by taking inventory of your achievements. Recognize what you've accomplished, no matter how small it may seem. Those steps are yours, and no one can take them away from you. Next, create your own goals. Define what truly matters to you, not what others say should matter. And my friend, practice gratitude. Instead of focusing on what you don't have, appreciate what you do have. Gratitude will shift your perspective. The Stoics taught us that true success isn't about surpassing others, but about surpassing the person you were yesterday. That's the only comparison that makes sense. Let me leave you with one last question. What could you achieve if you stopped wasting your life looking sideways and focused only on your own path? The answer isn't in what others are doing, it's in what you decide to do from now on. So drop that backpack full of stones that don't belong to you and start rowing with strength. Because here's a secret, my friend. Your life doesn't need to be better than anyone else's. It needs to be authentic and aligned with who you are. I invite you to apply these lessons to your daily life and stop wasting your time. This isn't something that will happen overnight, but every small step you take will bring you closer to the full and meaningful life you deserve. Be the person who, instead of comparing themselves or fearing failure, rises with determination and keeps building their own path. If you've made it this far, write in the comments, "Today, I change my life." And now, don't lose your rhythm. Stay with me a little more while working, while creating. Just stay focused. Because the next step is learning to make yourself your main priority. Not out of ego, but out of clarity. You can't give your best to the world if you're not giving your best to yourself first. So let these next words guide you while you keep moving forward. Stop for a moment. Breathe. When was the last time you thought about yourself? Not your job, not what others expect from you, just you. The truth is harsh. You've spent too long living for everything and everyone, except yourself. While the world screams, you run, you exhaust yourself, and you lose your way. But tell me, Until when? How much longer will you keep postponing your life? We live in an era where the noise of the world is deafening. We are bombarded with information, expectations, and constant distractions. They make us believe that being always available, always busy, is the definition of success. But the truth is different. If you don't make yourself a priority, you will become a shadow in your own life. In this video, I'll show you how to refocus on what truly matters, yourself. You'll learn how to shield yourself from the chaos, work in silence, and build yourself from within, using the teachings of Stoicism as your guide. If you don't take control of your life, someone else will. So tell me, will you wake up now, or will you keep sleeping through the life that others have designed for you? Let's begin. Let me tell you the story of my friend Gabriel. No one noticed him, he went unnoticed. At the office, he was the first to arrive and the last to leave. Whenever someone needed help, he was always there. One favor, then another, an extra task, a last-minute meeting. Gabriel, can you stay a little longer? Of course. Gabriel, can you cover for me? No problem. His boss appreciated him, his co-workers thought he was a good guy, and without realizing it, he had become just another resource. Like a coffee machine. Useful, available, but invisible. His personal life wasn't much different. When his family called, he dropped everything. When his friends needed him, he rearranged his plans. Always for others, never for himself. And so the years passed. Not one, not two. More than 10 years without ever saying no. But the bill came due. Because when you live for everyone else, you lose yourself. One day, in the middle of yet another endless meeting, he felt a sharp pain in his chest, a silent warning from his body. At first, he ignored it. After all, there were more urgent things to do. But the pain returned, and then again. Until one afternoon, sitting at his desk, his vision blurred, and everything went black. He woke up in a hospital. Stress, anxiety, extreme exhaustion. The doctor was blunt. If you keep this up, your body will make you pay for what your mind is ignoring. And that's when he understood. He had spent his entire life existing for others, but never for himself. When he left the hospital, something changed in him. It wasn't instant. It wasn't magical, but it was real. He looked at himself in the mirror and, for the first time in years, asked the question he had been avoiding. What if, instead of being available for everyone else, I was available for myself? That night, while mindlessly browsing the internet, he came across a video that caught his attention. It was about Stoicism. He had never heard of it before. He clicked play. In the video, they mentioned a quote from Marcus Aurelius. "A man's life is what his thoughts make of it." He went silent. He rewound the video and listened to the quote again. And he felt like those words were meant for him. Because right there was the answer he had been avoiding for years. His life was what his thoughts had made of it. He had believed he had to be useful to others, that his value depended on what he gave, not on who he was. But now he understood. His life didn't have to revolve around others' expectations. From that day on, Gabriel started applying Stoic principles. At first it was hard. When he said no for the first time, his boss frowned. When he stopped replying to work messages after hours, his coworkers criticized him. When he put himself first, some called him selfish. But for the first time in his life, he didn't care, because he had realized something that would change his life forever. If you don't make yourself a priority, you'll be everyone's option, except your own. Today, his life is different. He still works, yes, but at his own pace. He still helps others, but without neglecting himself. He made himself a priority, and in the process, he discovered something interesting. When you're good with yourself, you can give more, without destroying yourself in the process. This story isn't just about Gabriel. It's the story of thousands of people who have forgotten something fundamental. Their life belongs to them. So now I ask you, how many times have you said yes when you wanted to say no? How many times have you put yourself second out of fear of disappointing others? If this story resonates with you, stay with me, because in this video, we're going to break that mindset. Today, you'll learn how to make yourself a priority, how to shield yourself from the chaos, and how to take control of your life. Because, my friend, no one else will do it for you. Before we continue, if you're finding value in this content, consider subscribing and becoming an exclusive member to access unique perks. And tell us in the comments, do you usually put yourself first? Or do you always end up pushing your needs aside? Or simply type Stoic at heart? We want to grow together with you. 1. Your mind is hijacked. Imagine waking up in the morning, and before your brain even fully starts up, you're already swiping through your phone. Notifications, messages, useless news, short videos you don't even remember watching. 5 minutes pass, then 10, and before you know it, you've wasted half an hour of your day watching cat memes and celebrity gossip. And it's not just in the morning. Throughout the day, every time you have a free second, you pull out your phone. When you eat, when you walk, even when you go to the bathroom. You can't be alone with yourself for a single moment. My friend, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but your mind has been hijacked. Your attention is like a pie, and the whole world wants a piece. Social media, the news, ads, algorithms. Everyone is sitting at the table with a knife and fork, ready to take their share. They don't care if there's nothing left for you. They don't want you focused. They don't want you working on your goals. They don't want you building the life you truly want. They just want you to keep serving up more and more slices until there's nothing left of you. They want you distracted, consuming, hooked. Epictetus said it centuries ago. If someone tried to hand over your body to a stranger, you'd be furious. Yet you hand over your mind to anyone who passes by and allow them to manipulate it. And the worst part? You don't even realize it because you think, it's not that bad, I'm in control. But tell me, when was the last time you went a full day without checking your phone? When was the last time you sat down to work on something important without feeling the urge to check a notification every 2 minutes? No, of course not. You're not in control. They have control over you. And while your attention is scattered in 1,000 different directions, your life stays exactly the same. But don't worry, it's not entirely your fault. Neuroscientist Andrew Huberman explains that dopamine works against us. Every notification, every short video, every piece of junk information you consume activates the same brain circuits as an addiction. And like any addiction, it strips you of control. The problem is that your brain gets used to instant gratification. The faster you get a reward, the harder it becomes to focus on tasks that require effort. Have you ever tried reading, working, or learning something new, only to find yourself checking your phone without even realizing it? That's how they steal your control. It's not that you lack discipline. It's that you've been trained not to be able to sustain focus on what really matters. So, do you want results in your life? Do you want to focus on yourself? Then you have to take back your mind. Relax. It sounds worse than it actually is. First, set up barriers. Do a dopamine detox. I'm not saying you should throw your phone out the window, but make it work for you, not against you. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Use apps that block social media at certain times of the day. Don't say there aren't options. There are free apps that can do the work for you. If you don't use them, it's because you don't want to change. Second, activate airplane mode. Mentally. Don't touch your phone when you wake up or before you go to sleep. The first and last hour of your day should belong to you, not an algorithm. Use that time for something that actually brings you closer to your goals. Train, write, plan, learn. And third, take back control with a Stoic question. Every time you go to open an app, pause and ask yourself, is this serving me or is it distracting me? If the answer is it's distracting me, then you already know what to do. Remember, either you control yourself or you'll be controlled. Because at the end of the day, focus is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who just keep dreaming. If you keep letting the world hijack your mind, you'll stay trapped in the life you have now. But if you take back control, if you master your attention, then you'll finally start working on the only thing that truly matters, yourself. 2. You're wasting your time without realizing it. Tell me the truth, my friend. How many times have you said, "I don't have time" in the past week? How many times have you convinced yourself that your life is too busy to work out, read, learn something new, or start that project you've been dreaming about? Now tell me something else. How many times have you opened TikTok just for 5 minutes and ended up an hour later watching dancing dog videos? How many times have you opened YouTube with no real purpose and ended up watching a documentary about a lost tribe that has nothing to do with what you were supposed to do? No, of course not. The problem isn't that you don't have time. The problem is that you're giving it away without even realizing it. Marcus Aurelius made it clear, time is like a river. If you let it flow without meaning, you won't be able to get it back. And he wasn't just saying that. Despite being the emperor of Rome, with all the responsibilities that came with it, he still found time to write, reflect, and strengthen his mind. He didn't waste a single second on things that didn't bring value to his life. To him, every day was an opportunity for self-improvement, because he understood a truth that many struggle to accept. Time doesn't stop, it doesn't wait, and it doesn't come back. And here comes the harsh reality. Our society is lost. We are not like Marcus Aurelius. A study from the University of California analyzed how workers manage their time and found something alarming. On average, people waste 3 hours a day on unnecessary distractions. 3 whole hours. Where does all that time go? Not on important tasks, of course not. Instead, it's wasted on compulsively checking phones, jumping between browser tabs, or getting caught up in pointless conversations. If you add it up, that's over 1,000 hours a year completely wasted. What a loss. Think about this. You could have learned an entire language, read dozens of books, or built a business from scratch. But no, most people don't even realize that time is slipping through their fingers. And when they look back, they wonder why their life is still exactly the same. If you want to achieve something in life, you need to take control of your time once and for all, and focus only on yourself. Now imagine you decide to learn web design because you know that mastering this skill will open new opportunities for you. It could allow you to work independently, and who knows, maybe even launch your own business. You start motivated, you find a great course, you enroll, and that's when things get complicated. You finish work exhausted, you get home, you think about starting the course, but you decide to rest for a bit first. You grab your phone, watch a couple of videos, get distracted, and before you know it, the night is gone. Another day without progress. This is where you need a real strategy to stop wasting time and start making the most of it. Before going to bed, write down 3 key tasks for the next day. Not a never-ending list of impossible things, just 3. Watch the first lesson of the course, complete a practical exercise, and review design examples. If you complete those 3, the day was worth it. When it's time to start, avoid falling into the "I need motivation" trap. Use the 5-minute rule. Open the course and tell yourself, "I'll just do 5 minutes, and if I want to stop after that, I will." But you already know the trick. Once you start, momentum will carry you forward. To avoid distractions, apply the Stoic Pomodoro method. Work for 25 minutes without interruptions, then take a 5-minute break. No checking your phone every 2 minutes, no, "I'll just check 1 message." You create a real focus block, and when you finish, you'll feel like you actually made progress. Not only did you learn something new, but you also took a real step toward your future. Now tell me, how are you going to invest your time today? Write it in the comments. What are you going to focus on from now on to stop wasting time? Share it with us, because we're all on the same journey, and we can motivate each other. And keep watching, because what comes next might change the way you see things. If you start today, a year from now, you'll thank yourself for making this decision. But if you keep putting it off, well, a year from now, you'll still be in the same place. It's your choice. 3. Let the results speak. In a small room, lit only by the dim light streaming through the window, a man worked in silence. He spent hours observing, adjusting, perfecting every detail of his painting. He wasn't in a rush. He wasn't trying to impress anyone. Only he understood the magnitude of what he was creating. Day after day, He applied new layers of paint with almost obsessive precision. He studied the light, the anatomy, the subtle movements of muscles in a smile. While other artists announced their new works to the world, he kept his project a secret. He wasn't looking for applause. He didn't care about validation before it was time. His only priority was his work. Weeks passed, then months, then years. 4 years later, the masterpiece was ready. An enigmatic smile, a blurred background, a revolutionary technique. Leonardo da Vinci had dedicated thousands of hours to creating his painting, without distractions, without boasting, without seeking approval. While others talked, he worked. While others sought recognition, he sought perfection. And so, in complete silence, Leonardo da Vinci created the Mona Lisa. And you, what do you do? Do you announce your plans before you even start, or do you work in silence? It's happened to you before, hasn't it? How many times have you enthusiastically declared a new project, a life change, a goal? I'm going to start going to the gym. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to learn how to invest, and then nothing. Months go by and everything stays the same. But what if I told you it's not that you lack discipline, that your mind actually played a trick on you? Yes, you heard that right. There's a reason behind it. Every time you tell someone your plans, your brain releases dopamine. You know what that is, right? It's the same substance that activates when you actually accomplish something. In other words, by talking about what you will do, your mind believes you've already made progress, and the motivation fades before you even take the first step. That's why most people talk and talk about their goals but never achieve them. Their satisfaction comes from recognition, not real progress. But do you know who didn't fall into this trap? Epictetus. He himself said, "Don't boast about what you're going to do. Do it and let it show." That's how he lived. He didn't seek external validation. He didn't announce his plans. He simply worked in silence and let his efforts speak for him. His focus was on action, not approval. Now tell me, how many times has this happened to you? You decide that this time you're really going to get in shape. You buy gym clothes, take pictures, tell your friends. You get encouraging comments. You feel motivated. But when it's time to go, you don't feel like it anymore. Your brain already got its reward without doing the work. The same thing happens with any goal: learning a language, starting a business, changing habits. If you talk about it too much, you trick yourself into staying in the same place. So, are you ready to let the results speak for themselves? First, go into stealth mode. Don't talk about what you're going to do. Talk about what you did. Instead of announcing that you're going to write a book, write in silence and let someone see your finished manuscript one day. Instead of telling everyone you're changing your body, let them notice it without needing an explanation. Next, use mini rewards. It's normal to want motivation during the process, but find private gratifications. Celebrate internally when you complete a week of discipline, when you make progress on your project. The satisfaction of seeing real progress is worth far more than empty applause. And finally, do the mirror test. Before seeking external validation, look at yourself and ask, did I actually make progress today? If the answer is yes, you don't need anyone else to know. If the answer is no, then the only thing you should do is take action, not talk. My friend, at the end of the day, there are only two paths: talking or doing. Stop telling the world your plans. Work hard, focus on yourself, and the results will come. 4. Surround yourself with giants. Imagine that your success in life depended 95% on the people you spend the most time with. Sounds extreme, right? Well, a study from Harvard University proved exactly that. Your social circle is one of the most determining factors for achieving success. And if you think about it, it's not that surprising. Picture this. If your friends only talk about how bad everything is, the drama of the week, and how unfair life is, it's only a matter of time before you become the champion of pessimism. And this isn't magic, it's science. Our brain adapts its way of thinking to what it hears most often. And if the people closest to you have never tried to step out of their comfort zone, what do you think is going to happen to you? Seneca knew this well. We become those with whom we associate. Now imagine Seneca in ancient Rome, surrounded by people who only cared about parties, spending money recklessly, and coming up with excuses to avoid working on their minds. Do you think he would have become the great philosopher we know today? No, of course not. The people around us shape us, for better or for worse. Motivational speaker Daniel Habif puts it simply: surround yourself with spiritual giants, not mental dwarfs. And no, we're not talking about physical height, but about mental greatness. Surrounding yourself with people who have vision, ambition, and the drive to improve will change your life. People who challenge you, who inspire you, who push you to be better. On the other hand, surrounding yourself with people who have no goals, no curiosity, and no desire to grow is like tying a rock around your neck while trying to swim. Now put yourself in this situation. You've decided to improve your life, you've set clear goals, and you want to move forward. But every time you try to change, your environment holds you back. You say you're starting a workout routine, and they respond with, "Don't overdo it. Life is meant to be enjoyed." You talk about a project, and they say, "Don't get your hopes up. That won't work." In the end, their negativity seeps into your mind and you start doubting yourself. But don't worry, this isn't about running away and replacing all your friends overnight. It's about becoming more aware of who influences your life and how you can start surrounding yourself with better influences. If you want to grow, you have to filter your environment. Observe who inspires you, who motivates you, who makes you think beyond the ordinary. Spend more time with those people. Don't have anyone like that around? Find them, join communities, attend events, surround yourself with people who are already where you want to be. And if you can't do it in person, start by consuming their content. You also have to learn to say no. No to commitments with people who drain your energy. No to conversations that add nothing to your life. No to habits that only pull you further from your goals. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't help you grow, you're saying no to your own progress. And if right now you feel like you don't have a positive environment, start by creating a virtual circle. Surround yourself with books, podcasts, and quality content. Learn from the brightest minds in the world, even if you don't know them in person. Because if you fill your head with big ideas, sooner or later, you'll start thinking big too. Think about this. If you spend time with people who go to the gym, sooner or later, you'll get curious and start improving your health. If you're surrounded by entrepreneurs, you'll start learning about business without even realizing it. If you hang around people who read and educate themselves, you'll eventually absorb their knowledge. Your environment shapes your habits, and your habits shape your future. So tell me, do your friends bring you closer to the person you want to become, or pull you away from it? Because if they're not lifting you up, chances are they're dragging you down. Don't wait for others to change before you start focusing on yourself. Be your own priority and build an environment that pushes you forward instead of keeping you stuck. 5. Practice mental minimalism. Imagine your mind as a desk and a space where you're supposed to work, think, and create. But now imagine that desk is covered in junk. Stacks of papers, old receipts, empty coffee cups, sticky notes with tasks that no longer matter. There's no space to move. You can't find anything, and worst of all, you feel overwhelmed before you even start working. That's exactly how your mind functions when it's overloaded with useless information. Every time you consume alarmist news, social media complaints, meaningless gossip, bam! Another piece of paper on your mental desk, crash. Another pile of emotional clutter taking up space, plop. A new worry lands in your mind, one that isn't even yours, and then you wonder why you can't focus on what truly matters. My friend, your head looks like a desk after a hurricane, and you haven't even realized it. The problem is that you don't even notice how much noise you're letting in. You think keeping up with every political scandal, every global crisis, and every social media debate makes you more informed, more aware, more intelligent. But let's be honest, does it actually help you? Or are you just filling your head with worries you can't solve while neglecting the one thing you can control, your own life? Epictetus understood this well. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. The richest person isn't the one who has the most, but the one who needs the least. And this doesn't just apply to material things, it applies to your mind as well. The more unnecessary desires you accumulate, the more noise you create in your head. And the more noise there is, the less space you have to focus on yourself. Picture this. You wake up in the morning, and without thinking, your phone is already in your hand. You open X or Twitter, and the first thing you see is a heated political argument. Then you switch to Instagram and find someone showing off their perfect life. Meanwhile, you haven't even made your bed. Next, you check the news, reading about economic crises, wars, and problems that aren't even happening in your country. Without realizing it, all that negativity builds up in your mind. Anxiety, frustration, the feeling that the world is out of control. But in reality, the only thing out of control is your focus. Because while you're drowning in unnecessary information, you're ignoring the most important thing, your own life. This is exactly what happened to Matt D'Avella, a content creator who realized he was spending too much time consuming news, and it was stealing his peace of mind. So he decided to do something extreme, an entire year without watching the news. Nothing. No TV, no newspapers, no social media. Even his wife was forbidden from telling him any news. The result was surprising. His anxiety decreased, his focus improved, and he had more time for himself and his projects. And the most interesting part? At the end of the experiment, he realized that the truly important news always found its way to him. He didn't miss anything crucial. Do you see it now? You don't need to be hyper-connected to stay informed. So, how can you start decluttering your mental desk and taking back control? First, apply the rule of the 3 filters. Before worrying about something, ask yourself these 3 questions. Does this directly affect me? Can I do something about it? Is it important in my life? If the answer to all 3 is no, let it go. Don't fill your head with things that only drain your energy without giving anything in return. Most people's worries aren't even their own. They're imposed by an overstimulated environment. Second, if you truly want to regain focus, stop consuming news all the time. You don't need to know every political scandal or every global tragedy the moment it happens. Your mind isn't designed to absorb all the misery of the world without breaking down. And if something truly important happens, trust me, you'll hear about it. Third, surround yourself with quality information. Instead of filling your mind with toxic news and irrelevant gossip, ask yourself, how can I invest this time? Maybe by reading books that actually teach you something, learning new skills, or working on personal projects. Remember, a clear mind leads to a clear life. Now tell me, how much mental clutter have you been carrying around? Because until you clean up your mind, you won't be able to focus on the one thing that truly matters, yourself. 6. Does it make you uncomfortable? Then you're on the right path. Tell me the truth. When was the last time you did something that truly made you uncomfortable? And I'm not talking about switching to a new Netflix series or trying a new dish at a restaurant. I mean something that genuinely pushed you out of your comfort zone. When was the last time you spoke in public even though your hands were shaking? Or got up at 5 in the morning to work on what truly matters? Or decided to face something that scares you instead of avoiding it? Because here's the thing, if you don't do things that make you uncomfortable, you will never grow. Most people think discomfort is a warning sign, like a stop sign in the middle of the road. But in reality, it's a compass pointing directly toward your growth. Every moment of doubt, every obstacle, every bit of tension is a sign that you're moving towards something greater. If you never feel that discomfort, my friend, it's not that you're on the right path. It's that you haven't even started walking. And no, you can't fool me. I know you avoid discomfort. How do I know? Because we all do at some point. We prefer what's safe, easy, and familiar. We want to improve, but without sacrifice. We want success, but without effort. We want to be stronger, but without facing resistance. Epictetus would tell you right now, don't wish things were easier, make yourself stronger. The Stoics understood that discomfort isn't a punishment, it's the fire that forges character. It wasn't about avoiding challenges, but facing them with the certainty that every obstacle overcome made them more resilient. Because the problem isn't that life is hard. The problem is that you're waiting for things to become easy before you take action. And that will never happen. Look at the case of David Blaine, the illusionist. When he decided to break the world record for breath holding, he wasn't a superhero. He didn't have supernatural abilities. He simply trained his body and mind to withstand 17 minutes without oxygen. 17 minutes. Now tell me that's not facing discomfort head on. You know what he did? Day after day, he pushed his body to the limit. He learned to ignore the urgency of panic, to control his heart rate, to endure the unbearable. And after immense suffering, he succeeded. He wasn't born with that ability. He built it. And you can do the same. You know why? Because science tells us so. Neuroscientist Wendy Suzuki explains it clearly. When you face discomfort, your brain changes. New neural connections form, resilient circuits strengthen, and you become stronger and more resistant. You are literally programming yourself to be better. But if you always avoid effort, if you always choose the easiest way, you are training your mind to give up before even starting. So, are you ready to start using discomfort to your advantage? Think about this. Every day you have two options. Do the same as always, or push yourself a little and grow. Which do you choose? Because discomfort won't come knocking on your door, you have to go out and find it. Wake up earlier. What's the worst that could happen? That you gain more time for yourself instead of rushing through the day? Finish your shower with cold water. Can you handle 10 seconds? Spoiler: yes. Read a page in another language, even if it frustrates you. And that message you've been hesitating to send? Send it now. It doesn't matter what you choose to do. The important thing is that you stop running away from effort. Because the more you face discomfort, the stronger you become. Also, learn to differentiate between pain and growth. Giving up because something is difficult is not the same as stopping because something is genuinely harmful. The pain of effort is temporary, but the regret of not trying lasts forever. And finally, be grateful for discomfort. Yes, I know it's hard, but it works. When you feel uncomfortable, instead of complaining, think, this is taking me in the right direction. Replace complaints with gratitude because every obstacle you overcome makes you greater. Don't see discomfort as your enemy. It's the sign that you're making progress. Every time you face it, you choose yourself, reinforce your discipline, and take one more step toward the life you truly want. Now tell us in the comments, what's the last thing you did that pushed you out of your comfort zone? We want to hear your story. 7. Not everything deserves your energy. My friend, listen closely to this story, because it might open your eyes to where you're investing your energy. There was once an old man who lived in a village and was known for his unshakable calm. No matter what happened, he never lost his composure. One day, a young man, frustrated with his own life, decided to test him. He approached him and without warning started insulting him. "You're a useless old man. Your words mean nothing, and people only listen to you because they have nothing better to do." He spat angrily, expecting to see him lose his temper. But the old man didn't even flinch. He simply looked at him with a slight smile, and with total tranquility, asked him a question. "If someone offers you a gift but you don't accept it, who does the gift still belong to?" The young man frowned, not fully understanding the trap. "Well, to the person who offered it." The old man nodded. "Exactly. And the same goes for anger, envy, and hatred. If you don't accept them, they still belong to the one who brought them. I have more important things to put my energy into." The young man fell silent. He had never seen anything like it. He had always thought he had to respond to every provocation, defend himself, strike back. But there was the old man, immune to his poison, untouched, as if nothing had happened. And here lies the key, my friend. The old man didn't allow external forces to take control of his mind. He didn't let someone else's anger become his own. Because he understood the same thing Marcus Aurelius said centuries ago. If something external bothers you, it's not the thing itself that's the problem, but your interpretation of it. An insult only has power if you choose to accept it. A negative comment only affects you if you let it in. And the energy you spend fighting others is energy you could be using to build yourself. Let's be clear. How many times have you wasted time and energy on things that, if you're honest, don't add anything to your life? You argue with someone on social media over a post that isn't even yours. You get mad because your neighbor parked their car in a different spot, even though it doesn't affect you at all. You let a broken elevator ruin your day because you have to take the stairs, even though that extra movement might actually do you some good. And then, when it's time to focus on what truly matters, you have no energy left. Imagine your attention is like a flashlight. Wherever you point it, that's where your energy goes. If you spend your day shining it on small problems, pointless arguments, and meaningless worries, you'll run out of light for what truly matters. So, if you want to become your own priority, you have to start managing your energy like what it really is, a limited resource. First, apply the 30-second rule. Before reacting to something, stop, breathe, count to 30. Ask yourself if it's really worth spending your time and energy on it. If the answer is no, move on with your life. Second, practice strategic indifference. Ignoring isn't weakness, it's intelligence. Not everything deserves your response. Not everything deserves your reaction. If someone provokes you, if something irritates you, ask yourself, do I really need to engage with this? Most of the time, the answer will be no. And third, learn to let go. If something won't matter in 5 years, don't spend more than 5 minutes worrying about it. Seriously, stop and think about how many times you've stressed over things that days later you don't even remember. Life is too short to waste energy on the irrelevant. Now think about this. If your energy were cryptocurrency, what would you invest it in today? Because if you keep spending it on arguments, complaints, and distractions, when the time comes to focus on yourself, you'll have nothing left. 8. Learn to be alone. Ah, my friend, being alone. Scary, isn't it? But what if I told you it's the secret used by some of the greatest minds in history? It's not complicated. It doesn't require natural talent, yet most people can't do it. Nikola Tesla understood this perfectly. It wasn't just his intelligence or his ability to innovate. His true secret was solitude. He spent hours and hours in deep introspection, without distractions, without external noise. And it was in those moments that some of his greatest ideas were born. Tesla knew one thing for sure. The mind is sharpest and most creative in uninterrupted solitude. Now let me ask you, when was the last time you were truly alone? And I don't mean just being away from people. I mean being without distractions, without your phone in your hand, without music, without filling every second with noise. The problem is that most people don't know how to be alone. And worse, they run from it, as if being alone would awaken some dark version of themselves. As if they were Dr. Jekyll, terrified that their inner Mr. Hyde might take control. But the truth is, there's no monster inside you. There are only parts of yourself that you've been avoiding, and maybe it's time to bring them into the light. Think about it. If you don't enjoy your own company, how can you expect others to? The Stoics understood this centuries ago. Seneca was clear. Nothing is more powerful than a mind that relies on itself. What did he mean? That if you constantly need validation from others, if you can't stand silence, if you're afraid to face your own thoughts, then you're not free. You're a prisoner of distraction. And this isn't an exaggeration. A study from the University of Virginia proved it in the most brutal way possible. They gathered a group of people in a room and gave them 2 choices. Stay in silence, completely alone with their thoughts for 15 minutes, or give themselves electric shocks. The result will shock you. Most people chose to receive electric shocks rather than be alone with their own minds. Sounds impossible to believe, right? Let me ask you something. What would you have chosen? Think about it. Today, solitude is seen as something negative. You go to a restaurant and see someone eating alone. What does most of society think? Poor guy, he has no friends. But what if that person simply enjoys their own company without needing external validation? What if they feel complete without depending on anyone else? If you don't learn to be alone, you will never be your priority. You will always be waiting for other people's approval, for messages, for notifications, for external noise. And the worst part? The more you avoid solitude, the more afraid you'll be of facing it. So here's something you can start doing today. Try a silent day. Dedicate an entire day to yourself, free from external distractions. Turn off notifications, leave your headphones at home, and go for a walk without anything to distract you. If you've never done it before, be prepared. It might feel uncomfortable at first. And if you're up for an even bigger challenge, do something alone on purpose. Go to the movies by yourself, sit at a cafe, take a short trip without relying on anyone else. Pay attention to how you feel. At first it might seem strange, but you know what? Once you learn to be alone, you'll find it harder to be around people. And if it feels too difficult, it's time to ask yourself some hard questions. Who am I when no one is watching? Am I happy with my own company, or do I need constant noise to avoid thinking? Learning to be alone is not a punishment, it's a privilege. Because when you finally enjoy your own company, you stop seeking validation from others. You stop depending on external noise, and for the first time, you become your own center. That's when you start building the life you truly want. So tell me, are you going to keep running from solitude, or will you use it to become stronger, more focused, and more unstoppable than ever? 9. Train your mind. If you stop training a muscle, what happens? It weakens, it loses strength, it becomes soft. Now tell me, my friend, what do you think happens if you stop training your mind? Exactly. It fills with automatic thoughts, distractions, and negativity. Instead of working in your favor, it starts working against you. Marcus Aurelius explained it better than anyone. Your mind adapts to what you habitually think. As your thoughts are, so will your life be. And he didn't say this as a theory. He applied it every single day. While other emperors were consumed by anger, vanity, or fear of power, he trained his mind like a warrior trains his sword. Every morning he wrote in his journal, reinforcing the ideas he wanted to govern his mind. Patience, self-discipline, clarity. Before making any decision, he asked himself if he was acting out of impulse or reason. And when the pressure of ruling an empire threatened to consume him, he returned to the essentials. I can only control my thoughts and actions, nothing else. He didn't wait for his mind to be strong by nature. He trained it every day. And if the most powerful emperor in the world needed to do it, tell me, why do you think you don't? And I'm telling you this because I've experienced it myself. For a long time, others were my priority. If someone asked me for something, I dropped whatever I was doing to help. If I got a message, I answered immediately, no matter if I was in the middle of something important. I always put others ahead of myself. And let me tell you, my friend, it took its toll on me. Now I'm training my mind to focus on myself. And to be honest, it's not easy. I set small challenges for myself. If my sister texts me while I'm focused, I don't reply right away. I wait 10 minutes. I keep doing my thing without interruptions. And don't think I don't feel tempted to check or that I don't feel guilty for not answering. But I remind myself that if I want to achieve my own goals, I must be my priority. And you know what else I'm doing? Before filling my schedule with favors for others, I plan my day first. My goals come first. If something doesn't fit into my plan, it simply doesn't make the cut. I do this because I realized something. If you don't train your mind, you will lose your focus. And since I don't want that to happen to you, I'm going to give you a few tips. First, create a mantra that reminds you that you are your priority. It can be something as simple as, my time is valuable, or, if I don't take care of myself, no one will. Write it down and repeat it every morning. Make it your new automatic thought. Second, do focus exercises. Read without distractions, without checking your phone every 5 minutes. Write by hand, even if it's just one idea a day. Solve puzzles or brain teasers, anything that forces your mind to concentrate on a single task. And third, start putting distance between yourself and the constant demands of others. If someone asks you for something, wait before responding. If you feel the urge to say yes immediately, breathe. Ask yourself, does this fit into my day, or am I saying yes out of habit? Think about it. If you don't train your mind, society will train it for you. And I guarantee you, it won't do it to help you reach your full potential. It will do it to keep you from focusing on yourself. So tell me, are you going to let others dictate the course of your life, or will you make your mind your greatest strength? My friend, there is one thing that truly separates those who try from those who succeed. If you really want to make yourself a priority, don't lose focus on what's coming next. 10. Just do it. Think about it. Just do it. That slogan you see on t-shirts, ads, and sports shoes isn't just a marketing phrase. It's a way of life. Because the truth is, most people don't achieve what they want, not because they lack talent or ability, but simply because they never start. How many times have you told yourself you're going to start working out, that you're going to eat healthier, learn a new language, start your own business? And yet, here you are, still waiting for the perfect moment, the day you feel ready, the instant when all the pieces magically fall into place. But here's the uncomfortable truth. That moment will never come. Richard Branson, the founder of Virgin, understands this perfectly. His #1 rule for success is to say yes before you're ready. Because if you wait until everything is under control, you'll never do anything. He's openly talked about how he's jumped into projects without having a clue how they would turn out. And that's the key. It's not about being perfect. It's about taking action. The Stoics knew this long before any productivity guru. Epictetus didn't spend hours explaining what he wanted to do. He just did it. That's why he left behind one of the clearest teachings. Don't explain your dreams, make them happen. Because talking about what you want to do, planning it, analyzing it, none of that brings you even one step closer to achieving it. Only action does. Let me give you a clear example. Imagine you want to learn to play the guitar. You spend hours watching videos on technique, comparing guitar models, researching which strings are best. But at the end of the day, how many times have you actually touched the guitar? How many times have you placed your fingers on the strings and made a sound? Exactly. 0. This is where Newton's law of inertia comes in. And trust me, this makes sense. Newton said that an object at rest tends to stay at rest, and an object in motion keeps moving. And this applies to your mind too. If you keep waiting to feel ready, you'll stay still. But if you take the first step, no matter how clumsy, no matter how imperfect, it'll be easier to keep going. So if you really decide to learn that instrument, what's the right approach if you apply the just do it mindset? First, less theory, more action. Learn just enough to get started, but stop searching for the perfect tutorial. If you want to learn guitar, instead of watching 5 hours of videos on which one is best, buy whichever you can afford and start playing. Can you only dedicate 15 minutes a day? That's more than enough to learn a couple of chords and start practicing. And remember, no one started as an expert. Do it badly, but do it. The greatest musicians played horribly at first. The best writers produced terrible drafts before writing something great. The fastest athletes once tripped over their own feet. So what? Don't wait for perfection. Start, even if you mess up. Because in the end, my friend, the only thing that really matters is whether or not you do what you say you'll do. You can keep waiting, planning, and searching for the perfect moment. Or you can move now and work hard in silence. So tell me, are you going to keep waiting, or are you going to make it happen? Making yourself a priority is not an act of selfishness. It's an act of responsibility. Because if you don't take control of your life, someone else will do it for you. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't keep putting yourself on hold. Every day is a new opportunity to focus on yourself, to work in silence, to make discipline and action your greatest investment. It's not about rushing, it's about moving forward, about building yourself with every small decision, with every repeated effort, with every distraction you choose to ignore. Because life doesn't reward those who think about it. It rewards those who do it. If you've made it this far, write in the comments, "I'm going to focus only on myself." My friend, you're doing great. Now I only ask you, be here with me just a little more. Because once you learn to make yourself your priority, there's something even more powerful waiting for you. No noise, no comparison, just you and your purpose. Keep your mind steady while I show you how real progress happens quietly. Imagine for a moment that everything you're searching for, calm, strength, clarity, is already inside you. That you don't need to shout, beg, or prove anything to anyone anymore. All you need is focus and determination. Sounds wonderful, right? Well, it's time to make it real. It's time to stop looking outward for answers. It's time to listen to yourself and take responsibility for your life. Because when you choose to make yourself the priority, that's when your true power begins. This video is an invitation to come back to yourself. Today, you'll learn to let go of what you can't control and to focus your energy on the only thing that truly matters, you. No more comparisons, no more dependency. The Stoic path isn't about proving anything. It's about transforming from within. Today, you're going to discover who you are, how much you're worth, and how to get what you deserve. Because focusing on yourself is the most powerful weapon to build the life you truly deserve. If you're ready to stop living outwardly and start building from within, then this message is for you. Stay with me until the end. Believe me, you'll walk away from this video completely transformed. But first, let me tell you the story of someone who, for a long time, forgot about herself and paid a heavy price for it. Lucia was 42 with a schedule that barely let her breathe. A literature teacher at a demanding high school, mother of two, and partner to someone who always seemed to have something more important going on. Her life was a never-ending string of tasks, to-do lists, favors, and silence. From the outside, everything looked fine, but inside, there was only noise and stress. Every day she woke up at 6, made breakfast, replied to messages while half done with her makeup, rushed through grading papers, and showed up to class pretending everything was under control. And you know what? No one noticed. Not her students, not her co-workers, not even her partner. Because Lucia had learned how to smile, even when she was falling apart inside. But there were signs. Lately, she'd cry without knowing why while driving. She felt guilty for not having the energy to play with her kids. She would quietly ask herself if this was really what life was supposed to be like. One night, after an endless day and a silly argument about forgetting to buy milk, her partner said without raising his voice, "You're always so irritable. Can't you just relax a bit?" Lucia didn't say a word. She locked herself in the bathroom, closed the toilet lid, sat down hunched over, and that's where she broke. "Relax?" she thought. "If only you knew how hard I try not to fall apart every single day." Through sobs, she whispered to herself, "I can't take it anymore. What if I gave myself a break? What if I started taking care of myself the way I deserve?" That was her breaking point. No magical epiphanies, just a quiet decision. To put herself at the center, to stop being a satellite orbiting around everyone else, to finally focus on herself. The next morning, for the first time in a long time, she took care of herself first. She set her alarm 15 minutes earlier, made herself a coffee, alone, no phone, no noise, no rush. Opened a book she didn't have to grade but actually wanted to read. She sat in silence, and inside something small flickered to life. A few days later, she began going for walks at sunset. Half an hour with no headphones, no kids, no partner, no commitments, just her and her footsteps. And every time her mind tried to fill the silence with to-dos or worries, she whispered, "Not now. Right now it's just me." It wasn't easy. Guilt would still show up now and then, dressed as selfishness. But Lucia came to understand that taking care of herself didn't mean loving others less. It meant learning not to forget herself. Today, months later, her outer life is mostly the same. Same classes, same kids, same routines. But inside, everything has changed. She no longer feels invisible. She no longer needs others to acknowledge her efforts. Because she sees them. She honors them. She chose herself. And like the Stoics, she discovered that true power isn't about controlling the world. It's about learning to live within yourself, quietly and with strength. Before we continue, my friend, if you find value in our content, consider subscribing and becoming an exclusive member to access content that goes beyond the surface. And tell us in the comments, are you ready to focus on yourself? Or just write, I'm a Stoic. Today I focus on myself, not on others. That will be your quiet, yet powerful commitment to yourself. 1. You are your own hero. Yes, my friend, you heard that right. You are your own hero. No one else is going to take care of you. No one's coming to save you. Stop waiting. Stop waiting for them to change. Stop waiting for an apology. Stop waiting for recognition. No one is going to show up with a magic flashlight and say, hey, don't worry, I've got you. No. And the sooner you understand that, the sooner you can start walking toward what really matters, yourself. Epictetus made it clear centuries ago. No one is free who is not master of himself. And notice what he doesn't say. He doesn't say master of success, or master of being liked, or master of having a partner. He says, master of himself. Because the Stoics knew real power isn't out there. It's within. The world can be chaos, but if you're calm, centered, and strong, no storm can knock you down. Now let's bring it down to the everyday, the real. That moment when you, watching this video, wake up in the morning and check WhatsApp before even looking out the window. When you give a like to your favorite influencer instead of sitting down to write about how you feel. Think about it. You spend the whole day focusing outward instead of inward, solving other people's problems, worrying about what your parents think, your coworkers, your ex. Without realizing it, you've turned your life into a race to meet everyone's needs, except your own. And I don't blame you. I used to believe that if everyone around me was happy with me, then I'd be okay. But let me tell you how I went from that idea to something completely different. In just a few weeks. Once, during a job I hated, I worked on a project I poured my soul into. I gave it everything. Sleepless nights, last-minute changes, I was all in. And when I presented it, no one said a word, not a thank you, not a well done. Silence, and something inside me broke. Because I did it to impress, not to grow, to be seen, not to build myself. That day I understood that if my motivation depended on others' recognition, I was lost. If I wanted to move forward, I had to do it from within. For me. No audience. No applause. And look, this isn't about becoming selfish. It's about taking responsibility. About self-care. Because if you don't take the reins of your life, someone else will. And they'll lead you where you never wanted to go. Do you know how the Stoics did it? They didn't need to disconnect from the world because they were already connected to themselves. Marcus Aurelius, even as an emperor, got up every morning and wrote, to remind himself of what was within his control and what wasn't. He didn't write letters to other emperors. He didn't write big speeches to impress the public. He wrote for himself, to understand, to calm down, to prioritize. And do you know what Seneca used to say? He repeated over and over that life isn't short. It's just wasted. They didn't speak of peace from an ivory tower. They spoke from the trenches, in the middle of chaos. And you can do the same. You don't need to live in ancient Rome to practice this. Right now, wherever you are, you can start acting as the owner of your time, your mind, your decisions. Because that's the first step for everything to change. Psychologist Molo Sebrian, host of the podcast Understand Your Mind, puts it this way. When we don't take control, our brain switches into victim mode. and starts building a narrative of helplessness. And the result? We start living in reaction mode instead of choosing. What we need is to take back the power to decide. But to do that, we first have to stop seeing others as lifeboats and start building our own solid ground. So what can you do starting today to stop waiting and start taking control? Start simple. Every morning, before checking your phone, ask yourself out loud, what am I going to do for myself today? Write it down. Don't leave it in your head. Put it on paper, just like Marcus Aurelius did. Then commit to finishing something that's just for you. A walk without your phone, a page you write, a meal you cook calmly, something that's yours that doesn't need an audience. And one last thing, simple but powerful. Carry a small stone in your pocket, and every time you catch yourself waiting for something from the outside, touch it. Let it remind you that you are your starting point, that you don't need the world to move so that you can begin. You are your rock, and you don't depend on anyone or anything. Because yes, at the end of the day, it all comes down to one choice. Either you keep waiting for the conditions to change, or you start changing the way you walk. As Viktor Frankl said, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. So tell me, how many more days are you going to keep waiting for the world to do something for you? Don't you think it's time to finally do something for yourself? Epictetus didn't have social media or likes, but he had something many people today are missing: clarity. He knew that the first step to freedom isn't being accepted, it's taking yourself seriously. So go on. Start with yourself, because there's no path more powerful or more silent than the one walked by someone who chooses themselves every single day, even when no one else does. Do less noise, more focus. Your mind is like a radio. Think of an old radio that's full of static. When there's interference, you can't hear the music, right? Well, that's your head when you're focused on everything except yourself. When it's full of noise, distractions, obsessive thoughts sneaking in without permission, you can't hear your own voice. It doesn't matter how good the song playing in the background is. If too many frequencies are competing at once, the rhythm gets lost. And that's exactly what happens in your daily life. You try to concentrate, but at the same time you're thinking about what so-and-so said, about that unanswered message in the WhatsApp group, about what someone posted online, or why that email still hasn't been replied to. And then you wonder why you feel lost. It's because you're listening to yourself so little that you no longer even know what you need to feel good, calm, and at peace. The worst part? This has become so normal we don't even question it. We've convinced ourselves that being busy is the same as being focused. But no, I'm sorry. Running around all day isn't a sign of success. It's a sign of internal chaos. It's like walking around with your headphones on, 100 songs blasting at once and trying to figure out which one was yours. What a nightmare, right? We live in an age of notifications, messages, interruptions that never stop. And each one adds another layer of noise, pulling us further from our own frequency. And of course, how are you supposed to focus on yourself when you're reacting to every outside impulse like everything is urgent? You can't. You're so busy with what's happening out there that what's happening inside you gets no space at all. Seneca, one of the great Stoics, said it clearly: you will be happier if you do fewer things, but do them better. In his time, that meant avoiding distractions, focusing on what mattered, living with clarity. Today, in a world where your phone buzzes every 2 minutes, that advice feels almost revolutionary. If the Stoics lived today, believe me, they'd be the ones turning off notifications and leaving their phones in another room. Marcus Aurelius wouldn't be recording daily stories. He'd be writing in his journal while sipping his coffee, without looking at a screen. Picture a typical day. You wake up, and before even stretching, you've already got 15 messages, 3 calls from your boss, and 6 friend requests. Oh God, this is too much, your mind screams silently. While eating breakfast, you answer a few emails. At work, you jump from one task to another, constantly interrupted by new emergencies. By the end of the day, you collapse, exhausted, with the nagging feeling that you didn't really do anything for you. You're busy, yes, but far from yourself. That constant multitasking doesn't just drain you, it disconnects you. And when you disconnect, you lose focus. You lose your sense of purpose, and you lose yourself. Because focusing isn't just about being productive, it's about finding your way back to yourself. It's about listening again. So how do we actually apply this in real life? First, set time blocks. Choose 2 or 3 moments in your day to do just one thing at a time. Shut everything else down. Do it as if your peace depended on it, because in a way, it does. Second, check your phone notifications. Do you really need to know your food delivery app has a new discount, or that someone you haven't seen since high school posted a picture? Get rid of what doesn't add value, make room. And third, spend at least 5 minutes a day in total silence. No screens, no music, no distractions. Just you with yourself. At first, it'll feel strange, maybe even uncomfortable, but after a while, you'll feel like you're coming home. Because in the end, when you reduce the noise, you amplify your purpose. And there's no stronger focus than that of someone who sees themselves, listens to themselves, and chooses themselves above everything else. 3. Choose your battles and let go of the rest. There's a truth that's hard to accept, but incredibly freeing once you do. Not everything deserves your energy. That's simple. And that difficult. We think everything around us needs us, that we have to give our opinion, take action, fix things, stay in control. But no. The truth is something else. You can't stop the rain, but you can open an umbrella. In other words, you can't control everything that happens, but you can decide how you respond to it. And trust me, that decision can change your life. The Stoics knew this well. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If something external hurts you, it's not the thing itself that disturbs you, but your judgment about it." And he didn't say that while sipping from a coconut on a beach. He was an emperor dealing with wars, betrayal, illness. And still, his philosophy was crystal clear. There are things that don't depend on you. And the sooner you stop fighting those things, the sooner you'll find peace. But how do you apply this in real life? I'm not talking about the big catastrophes they show on the news. Those are obviously out of your control. I'm talking about the everyday stuff, the tangible things, your daily reality. Think about this. You wake up early, already running late for work, and on the way, someone gives you a nasty look or speaks to you rudely for no reason. Something inside you flares up. You feel the urge to snap back, to confront them because, of course, I'm not going to let people walk all over me. But what happens afterward? You dwell on it for hours. By midday, you're still replaying what you should have said. That person's long gone, probably doesn't even remember it happened. But you're still carrying it. Do you really want to keep giving away your peace like that? Once, I met a man who gave me a Stoic lesson without even knowing it. His daughter was very sick, and one day, while sitting in the hospital waiting room, a stranger accidentally bumped into him and didn't apologize. He took a deep breath, settled back into his seat, and said, "I've got too many important battles right now to waste my energy on this one." Wow, I thought, what composure. That phrase stuck with me. That attitude, that's pure Stoicism. That's wisdom in action. Because like Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. And here's the deeper truth behind that idea. When you choose your battles, you're choosing yourself. You're saying, I matter more than this noise. You're focusing your energy inward, not on changing what you can't control. Even modern authors say it, just with different words. Stephen Covey, author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, wrote, "Most people react to circumstances. Proactive people act from their values." And that's exactly what we're talking about here. Reacting to everything is living at the mercy of the world. Choosing where to place your energy is building from the inside. It's prioritizing yourself. It's finding your center. Sometimes the wisest thing you can do is nothing. Don't reply. Don't argue. Don't correct someone who doesn't want to understand. Not out of cowardice, but out of focus. Because you're choosing you. Because you're saving your energy for what truly matters. So how do you do this? Here's a simple mental trick that can help you more than you think. Before reacting, ask yourself, will this matter a year from now? Not in an hour, not tomorrow, a year from now. If the answer is no, let it go. Don't carry the weight of a conflict that isn't even worth it. Another powerful tool: breathe before you speak. It's not just a mindfulness tip, it's a life strategy. Breathing reconnects you with yourself, with what you need in that moment. Because sometimes what your ego wants to say isn't what your peace needs to hear. And if all else fails, ask yourself this: who am I if I don't engage in this battle? What you'll discover is you're still you, just calmer, more centered, more you. My friend, choosing your battles isn't giving up. Like Sun Tzu said, the greatest victory is the one won without fighting. Letting go isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's deciding that your energy is sacred and you're not going to spill it over every little obstacle. You're focusing on yourself, not out of ego, but out of emotional intelligence. Because in the end, not everything deserves your energy. And the sooner you understand that, the sooner you'll stop wasting your time on fights that were never yours to begin with. Learn to let go, and you'll gain something worth more than any external victory: your peace. 4. Stop explaining yourself. Those who understand don't need proof. Have you ever stopped to think about why you justify yourself so much? Why you give so many explanations for what you do, feel, or decide? What are you trying to prove? And to whom? If you ask yourself honestly, you might uncover something uncomfortable. Maybe you're not acting from who you are, but from what others expect of you. As if you needed to convince the whole world that what you're doing is okay, just so you can feel okay too. And it might seem harmless, but I'm sorry, it's not. It means you're measuring your worth by other people's standards, that you're looking outside for validation when it should begin within. But here's something no one tells you. You don't need to shout your worth. A jewel shines without making a sound. Have you ever seen a diamond screaming, "Look how beautiful I am"? Ever heard a gold bar say, "I'm worth more than silver"? Of course not. The diamond has value just by being a diamond. The gold is valuable just for being gold, and you, my friend, are no different. You don't need to justify every step to make it meaningful. You don't need others to approve your life. Epictetus said it best: don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Don't talk about how you're changing, live the change. Don't justify your boundaries, set them and make sure they're respected. Don't ask for permission to prioritize yourself, just do it. I know it's not easy. We live in a culture that teaches us to be liked, that trained us from a young age to believe that not explaining ourselves is selfish, that choosing our own well-being means abandoning others. So when you start doing things differently, the noise shows up. Why are you doing that? What's wrong with you now? Why didn't you come? Is something going on between us? And instead of taking a deep breath and moving on, you play along. You explain, soften your decisions, lower your voice so no one feels uncomfortable. But the more you do that, the more you disconnect. The more you doubt if what you chose was right. The more you bend to what others expect, and the less room there is for what you truly feel. It's like you're living your life with subtitles just in case someone doesn't get it. Let me tell you clearly, every time you justify who you are, you're handing over more power than you should. It's not that you can't ever explain anything, but you should know when you're doing it out of fear and when you're doing it out of self-respect. A few months ago, I met a woman in a pottery class. Her name was Clara. She shared that she had left her stable job to pursue something she'd been passionate about for years. But instead of enjoying it, she spent her days justifying herself to her family. "I'm doing it because it makes me happy, but don't worry, I have a backup plan. I know it sounds risky, but I'm working on alternative income. I'm not being irresponsible, it's just that." And as she said all this, her voice trembled. You know what I told her? "Clara, the problem isn't that you're explaining. It's that you're explaining yourself to people who don't care to understand." She went quiet, and then she smiled, relieved. She got it. She realized the only person she owed anything to was herself. That's the key. The people who truly value you don't need constant explanations, and the ones always demanding them might not be seeking understanding, but control. And look, Marcus Aurelius said it with striking clarity. The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. If your mind is full of justifications, of trying to please, of dodging criticism, then your energy isn't going into living, it's going into convincing. What if you let go of that burden? What if you stopped asking for permission and started giving yourself freedom, started valuing your opinion above all? Next time you need to make a decision that's for you, practice saying no without an explanation. It's hard at first, I know, but it's like building a muscle. The first no might come out shaky, but over time you'll say it calmly. Because you'll know that behind it there's no aggression, just clarity. And another thing, distance yourself from people who only stick around when you explain everything. Why? Because they pull you away from yourself. Those who need to understand every move you make just to feel secure. They're not really with you. They're with their need to control you. Surround yourself with people who respect your yes and your no without needing to interrogate them. Because in the end, your life is yours. You're not here to convince anyone that you deserve to live the way you've chosen. Your story doesn't need footnotes. Your peace doesn't need a translator. And you don't need permission to be who you already are. So let it go. Let go of the fear of not pleasing. Let go of the habit of justifying yourself. Let go of the need to explain every step, because in the silence that remains, you'll finally hear yourself. And believe me, that is far more powerful than any explanation ever could be. 5. Don't react, breathe. Once upon a time, there was a wise old man who lived high up on a mountain. One day, an angry young man climbed all the way to his cabin to confront him. He was convinced the wise man had spoken badly about him. As soon as he arrived, without even greeting him, he started shouting, hurling insults, accusing him of things that weren't true. The wise man looked at him silently, unmoved, his face calm. When the young man finally finished, the wise man asked gently, "If someone offers you a gift and you don't accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The young man, confused, replied, "Well, to the person offering it, right?" What a silly question. And the wise man said, "Then your anger is yours. I don't accept it." That little story holds a lesson that, if you truly take it in, can change your life. Not everything that's thrown at you needs to be picked up. Not everything that affects you deserves an automatic response. That's a deeply Stoic lesson, and it can become deeply yours if you're brave enough to try. Because when you react without thinking, you hand over control of your mental state to the outside world, to whoever's yelling, insulting you, to the weather, to the news. But when you choose to control your response, when you take a moment to breathe, now that's something else. That's when your focus returns to you. That's when you stop being an emotional puppet and start becoming the master of your inner space. Because yes, being your own master starts with not letting others control your breath. Think of yourself like the ocean. The surface waves can be chaotic, unpredictable, but deep down, there's calm. Your peace doesn't come from what happens outside. It comes from how you choose to respond. And that choice is only possible if you give yourself the time to not react on autopilot. Seneca said it without sugarcoating. Anger, if not restrained, is often more harmful than the injury that caused it. Sound familiar? Someone sends you a nasty message, you read it, get fired up, respond from the gut, and then, of course, you regret it. Because you didn't speak from your center, you spoke from a wounded ego, from pride, from confusion. And here's what no one teaches you. Reacting is not the same as being authentic. A lot of times it's just noise. Noise that covers up what you really feel. And that noise takes you away from yourself. It enslaves you. Because the more you react to the external world, the less connected you are to your internal one. Living in reaction mode means being constantly at the mercy of external triggers. It's living outwardly. Breathing, on the other hand, is coming back to yourself. It's pausing. It's asking, does what I'm about to say or do really represent me? Or is it just a reflection of what someone else triggered in me? What's truly best for me? To react, yell, get mad? Or to stay calm, talk to myself, understand, and carry on in peace? And the amazing thing is, it doesn't take long. Sometimes all you need is 5 seconds. 5 seconds to reconnect with your center, to remember that you are not what others make you feel. You are what you choose to do with those feelings. There's something deeply powerful in learning to count to 10 when you feel like you're about to explode. And you don't do it for them. You do it for you. Because every time you choose not to react out of chaos, you're reaffirming that your energy is yours. And that is self-care. That is personal focus. If you can, try to bring daily meditation into your life, even just a few minutes. Not to be spiritual, but to train your ability to resist your first impulse. Because when you build that invisible muscle, you begin to realize you can live without catching fire every time a spark flies. And listen, this isn't about becoming cold or distant. It's about not losing yourself every time someone throws their emotional mess at you. It's about inhabiting yourself more deeply, not disconnecting from who you are. Breathing before you act is not weakness. It's wisdom, it's courage, it's self-mastery. It's knowing you don't have to win every battle because you already have you. And now tell me, how many times have you reacted just out of fear of what others might think? Of not being accepted? Of being disliked? Listen closely to what comes next, because it just might give you the perspective you need. 6. It's not about being liked, it's about being well. Sometimes you do something that comes straight from the heart, and then you look around waiting to see if it was well received, waiting for a smile, some approval, a nod of validation. And if it doesn't come, you start wondering if you did the right thing. But stop and ask yourself, do you really need someone else's approval to feel at peace with yourself? Or is it that, without even realizing, you've handed your sense of well-being over to someone else? This happens more than you think. We go around measuring our words, our actions, our decisions, as if we were constantly auditioning, as if our worth depended on applause. But no, look at it this way. You are not a coin. You're not meant to be liked by everyone. You didn't come into this world to fit perfectly into every room or to meet every expectation. You came here to find yourself, to be you, unique, free, and real. And that, my friend, is already more than enough. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Perfect tranquility consists in the good ordering of the mind, in your own domain. Not in external applause, not in social acceptance, in internal order, in knowing that you're being true to yourself, even if that doesn't please everyone. You know when that inner order breaks? When you start changing your opinion just so no one looks at you funny. When you swallow your truth because you're afraid of making someone uncomfortable. When you pretend to be excited about something you don't care about, just to feel like you belong. You do it at work, with friends, even with your family. And the result is always the same. You're physically present, but absent from yourself. Let me be honest with you again, for a long time I was that person. Always smiling. The nice guy afraid of upsetting others. But eventually, I hit a wall. I realized that in trying to please everyone, I was letting myself down. That every yes I said without meaning it was really a no, I was whispering to myself. That's when I started making small changes. I remember being at a family lunch when someone made a comment I completely disagreed with. Normally, I would have smiled politely and nodded, but not that day. That day I said, "I respect your opinion, but I don't share it." And nothing happened. No one got up. No one stormed out. But I walked away with a peace inside me that no external approval could ever match. That's it. I didn't need to launch into a long explanation. I didn't have to prove why I thought differently. Just expressing myself, giving value to my thoughts and who I am, brought me a calm I can't even describe. It felt amazing. That's when I understood something crucial. Real well-being doesn't come from being liked by others. It comes from not betraying yourself. Psychologist Carl Rogers put it perfectly. When I accept myself just as I am, then I can change. He spoke of authenticity as the foundation of mental health, and he acknowledged that his vision was partly inspired by Stoic philosophy, because the Stoics spoke of this too, of living according to nature, which means living according to your essence, your truth, not the script someone else wrote for you. Now let me throw something at you that might stir things up. I'm going to challenge you silently. Over the next few days, pay attention to how often you adjust what you say or do just to avoid discomfort, to fit in, to be liked. Don't change anything yet, just observe it, and ask yourself, does this represent me or is it a disguise? Because if what you're saying isn't you, then who's speaking? To return to your center, there are simple tools. For example, make a list of your personal values. Write them down. When you feel social pressure or the urge to be liked, read that list. It's your anchor, your reminder of who you are. Here's another powerful habit: daily self-affirmation. It's not about showing off. It's about reminding yourself every morning, I don't need to be liked. I need to be real. I don't need to please. I need to be me. When you repeat that day after day, your nervous system starts to relax, and your self-worth stops relying on likes, forced smiles, or verbal approval. Because in the end, being well with yourself is worth infinitely more than being liked by others. Opinions shift, people look away, trends fade. But you're the one who's with you for life. 7. Clear your mind like you clean your home. Picture this. You come home after a long day and the first thing you see is chaos. Clothes on the floor, dishes in the sink, papers everywhere. It's hard to even breathe, right? Just looking at it feels overwhelming. But you know what's worse? That same feeling is exactly what many people carry inside every single day. Because your mind is also a room. And when it's full of clutter, energy doesn't flow. There's no space for anything new. Just noise. Just weight. And here comes the part we almost never want to face. Most people don't clean their mind until they're at their breaking point, until they're exhausted, explode, or get sick, until the mental mess becomes unbearable. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can take care of yourself before the collapse. You can make inner cleaning a daily practice, just like brushing your teeth or making your bed. Because yes, organizing your inner world is also an act of self-love. Do you know how Epictetus would have done it if he were alive today? Imagine him sitting in a cafe, writing in his notebook while everyone else stares at their phones, complains about traffic, their boss, or things they can't control. Epictetus doesn't join the noise. He observes, he breathes, he writes, he reflects on what he feels, what he thinks, and leaves out what doesn't serve him. And if someone asks why he does it, he calmly replies, "It's not things that disturb us, but our opinions about them." Do you see it? Clearing your mind isn't about erasing what happens to you. It's about cleaning up how you interpret it. It's about making space, letting go of what no longer serves you. And that takes time, intention, and above all, practice. One of the most toxic and common habits? Piling up worries and doing nothing with them. You shove them into your mind like someone stuffing papers into a messy drawer. You don't deal with them. You don't process them. You just push them deeper, until one day the drawer overflows and collapses on you, in the form of anxiety, insomnia, or emotional burnout. There's a quote by psychiatrist Luis Rojas Marcos that explains it clearly and simply. Thinking about your problems isn't bad. What's bad is chewing on them endlessly without analyzing or resolving them. That's the key. It's not about ignoring what you're going through, it's about putting it in its place. Just like cleaning your house. Review what's there, decide what stays, what goes, and what needs your attention now. So here's a real, practical, consistent mental cleaning routine. First, spend 15 minutes a day writing down your thoughts. No filters. What's worrying you, distracting you, exciting you, everything. It's not for anyone else. It's just to release it. It's your space. Second, eliminate things that don't add value to your life. And yes, this includes certain conversations, certain commitments you accept out of obligation that only fill you with noise. Ask yourself, does this bring me closer to myself or further away? If it's the second, let it go. Clearing your mind isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It's taking care of yourself. And you don't have to wait until you have more time, until your next vacation, or until everything calms down. You can start today, right where you are, with what you have. Because even if it seems like a small gesture, it's actually a silent declaration. I care enough about myself to stop carrying what isn't mine. Remember, a clear mind is the first step toward a full life. And that's not built with noise or grand gestures, but in the quiet daily choice of someone who picks peace over chaos. 8. Do yourself a favor, sleep peacefully every night. No, I'm not talking about taking a sleeping pill. I'm not even talking about playing relaxing music or doing yoga right before bed. I'm talking about something deeper, about making things easy for your conscience when night falls and your head hits the pillow, about not having to wrestle with thoughts whispering about what you did out of fear, pressure, or to please others, about not having to replay excuses or sugarcoat your choices, about being able to close your eyes and truly rest in peace with yourself, because that's what truly calms you. Sleeping peacefully has far less to do with what's going on outside, and everything to do with what's going on inside. And it begins with something very simple, doing the right thing, even when no one's watching. Picture this. You're on the subway, exhausted after a long day. An elderly woman boards with bags in her hands. No one moves. You're comfortable. You hesitate. It's a short ride, no one's forcing you. But you feel that tiny internal nudge that says, do the right thing. And you do. You stand, she sits. She thanks you with a genuine smile. No applause, no audience, but inside, you feel aligned. That feeling is the beginning of true rest. Epictetus said it boldly. If you wish to improve, be content to appear clueless and stupid. What does that mean? That doing the right thing is often unpopular, uncomfortable, or misunderstood. But doing it anyway, even if it feels awkward, is what transforms you. Because you're not doing it for others. You're doing it because your relationship with yourself matters more than fleeting approval from anyone else. And that has a massive impact, not just on how you sleep, but on how you wake up, on how you move through life knowing you owe yourself nothing, that you're not hiding, that your worth isn't built on appearances, but on the choices you make when no one's watching. And here's where a powerful concept comes in. Selfish altruism. Sounds like a contradiction, but it's not. It means that being kind, acting with virtue, doing what's right, and taking care of others is also the best thing you can do for you. Because it builds your self-esteem. It grounds you in what matters. It clears your mind of the weight of inconsistency. And it brings your focus back to you, not from ego, but from integrity. That's why Seneca wrote, "The reward of a good action is having done it." Don't expect applause. Expect peace. Expect calm. Expect that subtle smile that shows up when you know you made the right call. And yes, even that starts with practice. Start by asking yourself each night without judgment, was I the person I want to be today? It's not about being perfect. It's about not lying to yourself. It's about adjusting, observing, refusing to ignore what's inside. It also helps to write down your values, not to hang them on the wall, but to keep them close when the pressure comes, when you hear, just do what everyone else does, or it's no big deal. That list reminds you of who you are, or who you don't want to stop being. And finally, start making choices that feel good when you're alone. The ones that may go unnoticed, but you feel them. That make a difference when you don't need to justify yourself, when you don't need to replay the reasons behind your actions. Because you already know. Your conscience knows. Do yourself that favor. Not for your image, not out of obligation, but because living in peace with yourself is the greatest gift you can give yourself every single day. Inner peace isn't a coincidence, it's a consequence. It's the result of small daily choices that build trust, stability, and truth. And if this hits something inside you, stay with it. What's coming next is one more step toward that version of you that no longer needs to seem, because it's starting to know. 9. Not every issue is yours. Do you really need to have an opinion on everything? To be up to date with every news story? To jump into every discussion? To correct every detail? To defend yourself every time? Or would it be better to focus all that energy on what really matters? On you, on your peace, on your path? We live surrounded by noise, opinions, debates, comments. Everyone has something to say, and it seems like you should also have something to reply. But if you don't filter, if you don't choose what to pay attention to, you end up exhausted. You lose time, focus, clarity, and the worst, you lose yourself. Science has already proven it. Numerous studies show how social overparticipation, both online and offline, causes cognitive fatigue, increases anxiety, and scatters decision-making capacity. That is, the more you give your opinion on everything, the less clear you are with yourself. I've been there, I admit it. For years, I felt like I had to have a position on every topic, that I couldn't let a comment go unanswered, that I had to defend my point of view as if my worth depended on it. Do you know what all of that taught me? To feel exhausted, to talk a lot, and to listen to myself very little. Until the Stoics came into my life, and they showed me how wrong I was. Seneca taught that one should care for their soul as one cares for their body, avoiding loading it with other people's concerns, unnecessary judgments, and issues that don't belong to them. For him, what others thought or said shouldn't take up more space than necessary in the mind of someone who wants to live in peace. And here's where something comes in that changed my way of living. Not every invitation to argue deserves your attendance. Some come disguised as interesting debates, but they only want to drag you down to the same level of confusion. Knowing how to spot that isn't coldness, it's wisdom, it's self-care. Picture this scene. You're in a bar. Saturday afternoon, the bar is packed. A group starts talking about politics, at first with a calm tone, then a little louder. And in a while, they're already yelling at each other. No one listens. No one gives in. No one learns anything. They just want to be right. The scene goes on for more than half an hour. Shouting, sarcasm, tension. In the end, one leaves offended, another stays upset, and the rest with tired faces. And the most curious thing? No one had changed their mind. Does it sound familiar? Because that's how we often use our energy. Fighting in battles that don't build, that don't add anything, that don't transform. They only pull us away from ourselves. That's why Marcus Aurelius left it written, "The best revenge is to be different from the one who caused you harm." And being different starts with choosing silence when the noise doesn't deserve your voice, with not getting involved where it's not needed, with not replying just out of pride. And what can you do to stop carrying what isn't yours? Start by practicing conscious silence. Not that awkward silence, but an intentional one. One that comes from serenity, from understanding that staying quiet is not always giving in. Sometimes it's rising above. It's also useful that before giving your opinion, you ask yourself, does this really add anything? Or do I just want to reaffirm myself, defend myself, prove something? And if it's the second, let it go. Because sometimes, the biggest act of maturity is choosing not to react. And now, yes, I'll leave you with 2 ideas so you can start getting your center back today. Ask yourself this every day. How many of the things that are occupying me today really belong to me? Write it down if you need to. You're going to be surprised at how much energy we waste on battles that aren't ours. And that simple act of honesty is already an act of self-care. And protect yourself, but not with walls, with focus. Stop being available for everyone all the time. You also have the right not to reply, not to give your opinion, not to explain. Because every time you choose to save yourself for what matters, you're taking care of yourself. You're choosing yourself. Remember, silence is also a powerful answer, and many times it's the wisest one. Not everything deserves your attention. Not everything has to go through you. And what comes next, right now, is going to help you focus your mind in a practical, deep, and constant way. you're going to want to hear it. 10. You don't need to be anyone's hero except your own. Does it happen to you that sometimes you're more focused on saving other people's lives than on rescuing your own? You worry about how they're doing, if they need you, if you're going to disappoint them. And without realizing it, you become everyone's lifeline, except your own. Here's a fable that sums up this silent trap. A man was caught in a storm in the middle of the sea with his boat in pieces. As he struggled to stay afloat, he saw others also drowning. One asked him for help, and with the little he had, he gave it. Then another and another. He kept throwing his last life rings to everyone until, exhausted, he was left with nothing. When it was finally his turn to ask for help, he had no strength left. He wanted to save everyone, but he didn't save himself. And you know what else? All the others were already gone. They had saved themselves first. And no, don't get it wrong, this isn't an ode to selfishness. But I do want you to understand that if you don't save yourself first, you can't save anyone else. Why do you think the flight safety instructions say, in case of emergency, put your own oxygen mask on first? Exactly. You can't be anyone's hero if you don't take care of yourself first. And the Stoics knew this. Epictetus said, "Don't let what you can't do interfere with what you can." And we could add, "Don't let what others need make you forget what you need." Because you can't help from emptiness, only from balance. Taking responsibility for everything, without paying attention to what's happening inside us, isn't altruism, it's self-forgetting. And the bill always comes. In the form of emotional exhaustion, accumulated resentment, that emptiness that can't be filled by external recognition. Here comes the concept of Stoic care. It's not selfish to put yourself first. It's wise. Because from that place you can clearly choose when to help and when not to. You can give without draining yourself. You can set boundaries without guilt. You can look at others without losing sight of yourself. The problem begins when we confuse generosity with constant sacrifice, when we believe that helping always, at any time, makes us good people. But no, what makes you a person of integrity is helping from abundance, not from lack. Ask yourself this question. Out of everything you're doing for others, how much comes from love and how much from fear of not being enough? Because sometimes helping without limits is just another way of seeking approval. And the desperate search for approval is a disguised form of abandoning yourself. The Stoics practiced daily self-examination. They constantly asked themselves if they were acting in line with their virtue. And one of the pillars of virtue is precisely wisdom. And there is no wisdom in burning yourself out just to please. It's not about no longer being there for others. It's about being there for yourself first, so you can be there for them better. Because the only real way to support others is not letting go of yourself. If something doesn't add to your life, clearly, it takes away. If something pulls you away from yourself, even if it seems noble, examine it. If someone always asks and never gives back listening, respect, or presence, that's also a way of draining you. A Stoic tip you can apply today. Learn to say no without feeling guilty. Create sacred spaces no one touches. Your silent hour, your daily walk, your time to think. Don't explain them, don't negotiate them, they're yours. Remember, you didn't come here to be anyone's savior. You came to live your own process with dignity. And that starts by choosing yourself before trying to save the world. 11. When everything bothers you, the problem isn't everything. Think about that coworker who always snaps at the slightest thing, who takes everything the wrong way, who answers you with a bad attitude even if you just said good morning, or that relative who gets mad even when you simply ask how they're doing. Got someone in mind? Now ask yourself this: do you really think it's because of what you said? Or is it something inside them that's spilling outward? Now think about yourself. When everything gets on your nerves, the problem isn't the world. The problem is the mess inside you. We project constantly. If you're doing well, even traffic feels tolerable. If you're not, a spoon out of place can throw you off. And this isn't just a hunch, it's science. A Harvard University study showed that people with high levels of emotional stress are more likely to interpret neutral stimuli as threats. That means when you're upset, everything feels aggressive, even when it's not. Philosopher and psychologist William James put it like this: "The greatest discovery of my generation is that a human being can alter his life by altering his attitude." And the Stoics, 2,000 years earlier, already knew this. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." That change in interpretation, that inner work, has more impact than you might think, because it doesn't just help you handle a bad day. It transforms how you relate to yourself. You start noticing when you're being swept away, when you're drifting from yourself, when you're betraying your own balance. And that moment of clarity is the beginning of real growth. As you work on this, you slowly begin choosing your battles better, saving your energy for what really matters, realizing that your peace can't depend on everyone behaving the way you want them to, because that's never going to happen. And then something powerful starts to happen. You refocus. You reconnect with what you really need. You stop looking for blame outside and start truly listening to yourself. It's not about nothing affecting you. It's about not letting everything drag you down, about coming back to yourself every time the world feels like it's crashing down. Think about it. When you're in a hurry and someone gets in your way, you get angry. But if you're relaxed, it doesn't bother you at all. The difference isn't the person, it's you. And that, though it may seem small, is what gives you freedom. Because true freedom isn't found in a changing environment. It's found in your ability to stay steady when it doesn't. Here's a powerful Stoic practice. Every time something bothers you, instead of reacting, ask yourself immediately, what does this say about me more than about them? It's uncomfortable, yes, but it's also transformative. It gives you perspective. It gives you back your power. And here are 2 simple ideas that can help. When something external upsets you, don't act right away. Wait, walk, breathe. Write it down in a note on your phone if you need to. That small pause brings you back to your center. And at night, identify one moment in the day when you lost your cool more than necessary. Ask yourself, what did I need in that moment? What was I missing? Because the more you understand that, the easier it will be not to repeat the same pattern. Remember, when everything bothers you, the problem isn't everything. And realizing that doesn't just bring calm, it makes you stronger. Because you're learning to center yourself, to listen to what truly matters, and to choose what deserves your energy. And in that quiet act, without big displays, is where your real change begins. And now that you know the problem isn't everything that bothers you, but how you interpret it, stay with me a little longer. Because what's coming next might be exactly what you've unknowingly needed for a long time. 12. Do a cleanup of people and thoughts. There are moments when the only thing you need to move forward is to empty out. Let go of what weighs you down, what confuses you, what drains you. Because not everything that comes with you is helping you grow. And not everything that's part of your life deserves to stay. What if what's holding you back isn't a lack of motivation, but an excess of noise? There are relationships that don't break, but they rot. Conversations that just go in circles. People who don't attack you directly but drain your energy without you even noticing. And thoughts, those are the worst, that have been with you for years, repeating like an old song, and you don't even know why you still believe them. Picture your mind like a closet. If it's full of old, useless stuff you no longer use but feel guilty throwing away, there's no room for anything new. You can't move forward if every day you get dressed in the same old judgments, fears, and excuses you've been carrying for years. And you know what's powerful? That you can clear out that closet, and you don't need noise, revenge, or explanations, just clarity. The story goes that Epictetus, when he was a slave, was punished by his master for supposed disobedience. But instead of defending himself or exploding, he simply looked him in the eyes and said, "You can break my leg, but not my soul." His soul no longer belonged to his surroundings. It belonged to him. And he only achieved that through inner cleansing, discernment, and the courage to let go of what didn't set him free. You can do the same. Maybe you don't have to walk away from everything, but you do need to stop holding on to what dims your light. Here are some signs that you need to do a cleanup. If you finish a conversation feeling smaller than before, more insecure or confused. If you catch yourself mentally repeating phrases like, "I can't," "That's just how I am," "What will they think?" If you're surrounded by people who minimize your achievements, your dreams, or your transformation, it's not about cutting everything off. It's about choosing with love, not out of resentment, but out of responsibility. Start small. That constant chat with someone who only talks about problems but never wants solutions. That thought that shows up every time you look in the mirror. That habit you go through on autopilot that deep down steals your life. Apply this metaphor. You are like fertile soil. You can't plant anything new if the ground is full of weeds. And many times, the weeds look like people who don't respect you, ideas that don't represent you, or routines that no longer make sense. Here are some clear tips to start your cleanup. Make a list. People, ideas, habits. Don't judge. Just observe. Does this lift me up or drag me down? Choose 3 things to let go of this week. A phone call you're not going to return. A thought you're going to challenge. A habit you're going to replace. Create a space for yourself. A day, an afternoon, an hour. No one, no screens, just you and your clarity. That's where everything gets decided. And remember, cleaning up isn't losing, it's freeing. It's allowing the new, the good, the real to finally have space. You don't need a perfect life to start. You just need the courage to clear it out. And the rest comes on its own. Because sometimes, moving forward isn't about adding. It's about letting go. Ah, my friend. Letting go of what holds you back and refocusing on yourself, that's true freedom. Stop carrying what keeps you from growing. Every boundary you set, every thought you choose to release brings you closer to your center. And from there, everything changes. If you've made it this far, write it in the comments. Today I focus on myself and move forward with courage. That way, I'll know who the true Stoic warriors are who made it to the end. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and give this video a like so you don't miss out on what's coming next. I also invite you to check out our playlist, which you'll see on the screen. It's packed with ideas, stories, and advice to help you navigate life with more wisdom and confidence. Click it, and let's keep moving forward together. Until next time, take care and keep embracing your inner Stoic.